I got stories. We're going to start with this. Andy Cohen ain't going nowhere, despite what many rumors might say. Apparently, there has been more than a few people spreading the news that Andy was negotiating an exit from Bravo as he deals with legal issues, but a rep for the network says it's just not true.
I got nowhere to go.
He has been sued by a few people recently. Brandy Glanville accused him of sexual harassment, and Real Housewives of New York City's Leah McSweeney filed a suit alleging a toxic environment for starters. And while that might make work more intense than before, the lawsuits Andy and Bravo are facing aren't leading to a split, apparently. He has denied the allegations, and Bravo is fighting the lawsuits.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors. It's just not true.
Shows he produces for Bravo, like the Real Housewives stuff. And I mean, he's like a juggernaut.
Yeah. Casey, Antonio Brown, the football player.
Oh, yeah. What's going on with him?
Who does he, you know me.
Well, he
I
played
don't know
for
football.
the Steelers and then infamously quit in the middle of a game while he was playing for the Buccaneers.
All right, he's kind of known to be a douchebag, right?
Well, yeah, I think he's more known to perhaps be suffering from CTE.
Oh, okay. Well, Caitlin Clark, the amazing basketball player, has blocked him on social media after he posted inappropriate things about her. With Brown even attempting to troll her further. He had said something along the lines of that she's got a hairy bush.
Beaver.
Okay.
Yeah. Or he thinks that she does. So something he's conjecturing.
Nice beaver.
And then he first trolled her by captioning a picture of her saying she looked like she about to sign the Declaration of Independence, and continued the antics by calling her, and Casey, I don't know what this would be.
Okay.
It's a blocked out curse word. It's C, and then it's got star R
Of the day.
of the day. Something
Sea sucker?
that must be it. Yeah, thank you. That's got to be it. Calling her that, the sea
It's
sucker
like Wheel
of
of
the day.
Fortune.
All right.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it Sea Sucker?
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Yeah. I'd like to buy, I'll take the K.
Yeah. Brown's behavior on social media was not well received. Most people.
Sea Sucker mother effort. All right, another spin of the wheel. This one involves felching.
Okay. All right. Felching.
That's the topic. Sea sucker?
I love that buzzer. I love that buzzer, by the way. That's excellent. So anyway, it wasn't well received. Most people were rolling their eyes at his post, prompting the WNBA player to take action and block him. Yeah. It's not the first time that his conduct has led to such consequences, as both Tom Brady and Joe Biden had previously blocked him for similar behavior. Even Damar Hamlin recently blocked Brown after a spat on the platform.
So, well, Case, what do you think the odds are that he is actually suffering from brain injury, from that lingering effect of playing?
Who was at the hit from Vontaze Burfict just put him out, and the people are saying he hasn't been right ever since.
Right.
I don't know.
I think it's definitely possible, and he's had a lot of different run-ins. So I think, just from an outsider looking in, only looking at the snapshots of this stuff.
Sure.
I think this goes beyond douchebaggery.
Because we've been learning more about just how it affects athletes' personalities.
Yeah.
And how, it's an interesting thing that you bring up.
He's had like a lot of high-profile things. Stuff that happened in the comfort of his own home, things that are happening on the field.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. I just saw this story, and I didn't get a chance to really go through this, but this sucks. Dickie Betts passed away from the Almond Brothers.
Yeah. Yes. The legendary Dickie Betts.
That happened overnight?
No. It happened yesterday.
Did it?
Yeah, I said it. I told
Did you say it to me?
I did,
Say
yeah.
it to me?
You told it to me. He wasn't in the room when you told me.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, we said it right there.
No.
Yes, you absolutely were.
Well, then I wasn't paying attention.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's fine, yeah. But I said it in the room yesterday when Marissa and Casey and Preston were here.
I don't remember you being
After the show?
I promise.
But no, that's fine.
I promise he was here because I think I in my head I thought I don't think Preston is paying attention to me right now when I'm saying this.
Was it after the show?
Yeah, it was at about 11 yesterday. Pierre did
man.
like an hour and a half workforce block of the Almond Brothers.
It was great.
It was really well done.
I missed it. I was playing golf. So
really heartfelt and really well done.
Wow. Well, he was 80 years old. That was terrible. Stop it. That's terrible to hear. What a great musician, man.
He was not in good health.
No.
Yeah, he'd had a stroke a few years ago and hadn't really recovered. He was surrounded by friends and family, and so the death was not unexpected.
Yeah, it says here that his manager told Rolling Stone that he had cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. But he wrote and sang. It says the group's biggest hits. I guess Ramblin' Man was probably the one that played most, or they sold the most, or something like that.
Jessica.
But that was his tune. Jessica.
Such
he
a great friggin'
that
song.
as well.
Yeah, and Blue Sky also.
Fantastic musician, great guitarist, and well, that's sad news. And you've had Dwayne Allman died in 1971, and then Greg Allman. When did he pass away? That was
2017.
Yeah, a few years back. So, what a great group of musicians. I mean, just
Hard living.
They crossed the line between, or they blurred the lines between country, rock, jam band, all this stuff.
I saw them. I got to see them. I forget
no
who I saw them with, Preston, but sensational.
Wow.
At that point, a little sloppy from drugs and stuff like that, but still you're like, holy crap.
I think they reeled it back after a while, and once Greg, I think he OD'd at one point.
Yes,
and, had some real trouble with
Ready
that.
to share briefly.
Boy, what a long, interesting life. So sad news. Sorry, sorry I wasn't paying attention, Nick.
It's okay.
I would have covered it earlier. All right, so what else I have here for you? The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is hitting the road from August 19th to the 22nd. The show will broadcast from Chicago's Auditorium Theater during this year's Democratic National Convention. He had said, Chicago is where I cut my teeth performing at the Second City.
You know that for a fact.
Yeah, and its pictures are hanging up there. And it's also where this South Carolina boy got an education in winter. Did you know that tears can freeze? He will also be doing something special during the Republican National Convention. The Late Show will air live July 15th to the 18th in New York City from the Ed Sullivan Theater. Quiet on Set. The Dark Side of Kids TV has become Max's most watched streaming title ever, reported by Nielsen, garnering 1.25 billion viewing minutes.
Holy hell.
Between March 18th and the 24th. They said viewership exceeded the previous record held by The Last of Us, which drew 1.19 billion
Network exec
minutes, and the docuseries ranked third in TV streaming, trailing behind Prime Video's Roadhouse and Netflix's Three Body Problem.
You know, it's interesting. At this point, I think since all the stuff that you would learn from watching the series has already come out as headlines, I don't even know. I mean, you could watch it, but pretty much everything that was revealed is out, you know, in common knowledge now at this point.
Right. I believe we have a clip of this. Kate Hudson, birthday girl, announced her debut album called Glorious. She revealed the title and released the date and dropped a brand new single called Gonna Find Out. And she can actually sing.
Really?
I listened to a little bit of it, yeah. She said it didn't, we're going to play a little, I'd say it doesn't seem real, she said, but the truth is, this is realer to me than anything I've done in my entire life, and it's always this. I just needed to get to a place where I was ready, and the songs got to the core of who I am. She explained that the 12-track album has been in the works for several years. Yeah, you got to follow it up with a ballad.
It's amazing.
She said, when it comes to talking about where this album comes from, the years I spent quietly making music and living inside the songs, I'm not sure I'll be able to stop talking about it. She said, I'm just thrilled that so many smart people want to talk to me about Glorious in the process of making my first record.
It's pretty wild because her mother is a horrible singer. If you've ever heard...
Goldie Hawn?
Goldie Hawn is, if you remember at the end of Wildcats...
Yeah.
She's completely and totally out of tune.
Goldie Hawn is she's on one of the recent Cohen podcasts, and she's awesome.
Yeah,
you know, just relaying. She seems. I'd love to get her on this show because she's a talker, and she's up, and she's awesome.
So the movie comes out, the album comes out on May 17th. By the way. Let's see. I wonder some things I absolutely want to get to. How about this was nice, and you guys. Watch Only Murders in the Building. Selena Gomez surprised Steve Martin at his documentary premiere. He got a surprise on the red carpet. The documentary is called Steve, in parentheses, Martin. Selena Gomez showed up and brought tears to her Only Murders in the Building co-star's eyes. He said, I can't believe you're here. Thank you so much. So nice of you. She kept saying not to make a fuss. The two-part documentary is broken up in then and now segments. It's a two-parter and tells the story of Martin's full career.
How much you got it this weekend?
On Apple TV Plus. I started watching it last night. It's and I love Steve Martin. I'm watching the first episode. I don't really like the documentary style they went with.
Oh, what they do?
It's all photos and video and just voiceover from him and the people that are commenting. Nobody goes on camera.
Oh.
And I kind of
like to see.
I'd like to see the people. Unfortunately, they do it.
Ken Burns-ish?
A little bit, but with video. And there is
My dearest wife, today I put a fake arrow through my head.
there are tons of photos and video. He's well documented throughout his career. And I'm enjoying it.
My dearest wife, I'm sorry I did not write you last week. Excuse me.
But it goes on how, his idea of comedy, he was really breaking ground and trying to be his own thing.
And then he became a prisoner of his own thing.
Yeah, he had a hard time getting it started, a really hard time, but he kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. But
so Only Murders in the Building, those three, Martin Short, Steve Martin, and her, they're wonderful together, and I love that they have actually become really good friends. It's cool to hear the story.
Casey's got an arrow through his head.
Hey.
Well, excuse me.
The same way you couldn't escape Monty Python in person, or Borat.
Yeah.
Same
It was
thing.
Wild and crazy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's I'm enjoying it. I wish the style was a little bit different of it. So this is cool. Night Shyamalan is a new thriller coming out, and the first trailer is out. The film stars Josh Hartnett, Selena Shyamalan,
Yes.
Haley Mills, and Marnie McPhail.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did not.
It's really cool.
Okay.
And if it is what I think it is, it's even cooler.
The story is a father and teen daughter attend a pop concert where they realize that they're at the center of a dark and sinister event. Oh, is it like Taylor being a Satanist, Taylor Swift? Are they playing off of that?
No. So, all right. So he takes his daughter to this concert. And Shyamalan's daughter is the pop icon that's on stage performing. She's thrilled. And so he notices that Josh Hartnett, that there are some security trucks around the building, and he says to one of the guys, ticket takers, he says, "What's going on here?" And he goes, "Well, there's this this is all a setup. We've heard that this killer is in the area and is in the building. We believe is in the building. This apparently, and they don't elaborate in the trailer, but this guy who's apparently done some horrific stuff. And as Josh Hartnett is going, wow, and then his face kind of goes, leading me to believe, Nick, that it's him.
All right.
Yeah.
Steve, I have a question because Jon Stewart tweeted about it yesterday, and John doesn't tweet a lot. And what he wrote was, "I've seen what the dude can do with a pen," referring to Night Shyamalan. Be careful out there. Is that an inside joke that I don't get what that reference is or why John would tweet that?
No, nothing's coming to my mind,
Okay.
but it might be.
And he's not in the trailer, right, Jon Stewart?
No.
All right.
The movie hits theaters August 9th, so love it. Let's see. Fallout. Sci-fi series has been a big hit for Amazon Prime, so it comes as no surprise that the video game adaptation has been renewed for a second season.
I started playing the fourth game again, now. Just
because you're
just
enjoying
like
the
I did with
show.
The Last of Us,
Yeah, the hit has garnered some of Prime Video's best reviews ever, averaging a 94% average positive critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. The streamer also says the show is among its top 3 titles to date. If the season 1 finale is any indication, the series would be shifting its focus to New Vegas, a pivotal location in the video game franchise.
So, Steve, I never played the game. I don't know anything about it, but I am watching the series, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it thus far. I think I've got like maybe 2.5 episodes left before the end. But
I'm sad. I said to Preston in case that I'd almost wish they'd rolled this out on a weekly basis because I tore through it pretty quickly. But I'm sorry, I jumped in there. What's your question?
No, my question is this: was it because sometimes like a scene will end and it's almost as if they made this series without knowing where it was going to air just yet. Do you know what I mean?
They're commercial breaks.
Commercial breaks.
Yes, I agree 100%. So there are what appear to be commercial breaks just in case. I think they do that a lot these days anyway.
Okay.
Just because on the off chance that it ends up on a commercial network. But Preston, you're going to love it in case it really does. So it's a story unto itself, but it captures there's a whole bunch of minutia and Easter eggs for people who play the game.
Okay.
But it's just done so well.
Okay.
And it's funny.
Okay.
It's funny as well.
is funny.
Yeah, I think I'm going to grab. Maybe I'll grab Parker because he's a big gamer, and we'll watch that together because that'd be solid. All right, another quick story, and then we'll move on to movies opening. Crazy Rich Asians is getting turned into a Broadway musical. The movie's director, John M. Chu, is helping transform the movie for the stage.
Crazy Rich Cats.
He might have a few good ideas about movies and musicals, considering that he's currently directing the movie version of the Broadway musical Wicked. According to a press release, it says, Crazy Rich Asians is a fun, engaging, and hilarious look at what can happen when young love collides with old money. Both the musical adaptation and the movie are based on Kevin Kwan's book about a Chinese-American professor who finds out that her boyfriend's family is actually seriously loaded.
You know what I dig so much about the movie, though, is the fact that you're getting to see that excess, that lifestyle, that the crazy stuff.
Yeah, I agree. So the movie brought in $239 million around the world. The sequel, meanwhile, has reportedly been in development for 5 years so far. I don't know if that'll happen or not.
Some listeners have clarified my question about Jon Stewart and the pen. Apparently, Josh Hartnett stabs Jon Stewart with a pen in the movie The Faculty.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
So
yes.
That's what the joke is that Jon Stewart wrote.
Which, by the way, is one of my favorite. I love The Faculty.
Yeah, and John doesn't do a ton of acting these days, but anyway, that's what that joke is about.
Okay, so I thought it was about M. Night Shyamalan, but it's about Josh Hartnett.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Okay.
But it's about Hartnett, yeah.
There you go. All right, movies are opening this weekend. Yes, they are. In this city.
They were supposed to fix that, by the way.
They are opening
They're
here.
up in the city.
Yeah.
Many theaters are in cities.
All right, so we got Abigail opening. It's a horror film starring Alicia Weir, Melissa Barrera, and Catherine Newton. After a group of would-be criminals kidnap the 12-year-old ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, all they have to do to collect a $50 million ransom is watch the girl overnight. In an isolated mansion, the captors start to dwindle one by one, and they discover, to their mounting horror, that they're locked inside with no normal little girl. It's an hour and 49 minutes long. It's rated R. Wide theater release. Rotten Tomatoes score is 83%.
Good.
Also opening is The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's an action comedy. Stars Henry Cavill, Alan Ritchson, Eliza Gonzalez, and the true story of the first ever Special Forces organization formed during World War II by UK Prime Minister Winston Churchill and a small group of military officials, including author Ian Fleming. The top secret combat unit, composed of a motley crew of rogues and mavericks, goes on a daring mission against the Nazis using entirely unconventional and utterly ungentlemanly fighting techniques. 2 hours long. It's rated R. Wide theater release and Rotten Tomatoes score gives it a nice 70%.
Yeah, so they're saying this is sort of Guy Ritchie's Inglourious Bastards.
Okay. And then the last opener is Sasquatch Sunset. It's comedy action. Stars Jesse Eisenberg, Riley Keough, and Nathan Zellner. In the misty forests of North America, a family of Sasquatches, possibly the last of their enigmatic kind, embark on an absurdist, epic, hilarious, and ultimately poignant journey over the course of 1 year. These shaggy and noble giants fight for survival as they find themselves on a collision course with the ever-changing world around them. An hour and 30 minutes long, rated R, wide theater release, and Rotten Tomatoes score 71%.
So, from what I understand, the movie is very funny, has a real sharp edge to it, and there's a ton of scenes involving the Sasquatches pissing.
Okay.
Really?
All right.
So they had a screening of it. I almost had this in the entertainment report the other day, and they screened it exclusively for an audience of bonobos, the
Sasquatch.
the primates.
Oh, okay.
What is that? How you pronounce it?
But no, yeah, they're like
bonobos.
chimps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like chimps.
And how do they like it?
Apparently, they were intrigued, is according to the trainer that I read about that. So,
love that.
All right, and that is the entertainment report for you this morning. Oh,
Yeah, you forgot.
Oh, my God, yeah. We got clips. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Spiderwick Chronicles follows a family who moved from Brooklyn to their rural ancestral estate. And in this clip, Christian Slater talks about taking over from the role of the murderous ogre Mulgarath
Oh, he's one of the nerds.
from another iconic actor. Here we go.
Nick Nolte is definitely one of my favorite actors and did a fantastic job in the movie. But I felt like this was really a total departure from the movie. And that whole storyline of Mulgarath trying to weave his way into this lovely, struggling family was a nice element, I think, to introduce into this story.
Spiderwick Chronicles is streaming on Roku. Here's our next one. RuPaul's Drag Race is down to the final 3, and one of them is Philly-based queen Safira Cristal. And here, the fan favorite talks about what sets her apart from the other contestants.
I'm just here to have a good time. I'm just here to enjoy myself and ride the river of abundance. And as long as you just keep your goal in mind and nothing else, don't let anything get in your way. The only thing that can get in your way is you.
RuPaul's Drag Race season finale is tonight, 8 p.m. on MTV.
What is it, season 200?
Yeah, show's been around for a while. And that is your entertainment report. All right, done with that. So we have a bunch of stuff to get to this morning. In the Connoisseur, we got tickets to Kevin Hart at the Met. We also have Anthony Jeselnik tickets to give to you.
Big comedy heavy hitters.
Yep, and speaking of comedy, Troy Bond is going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club. He's going to be swinging by this morning. We're also going to talk to Garrett Stubbs of the Phils around 9:30 today. And we have a couple chances for you to win $1,000 this morning. So we'll do that with Good Money and we will have your first shot at 8 a.m., which is not that far off. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll continue our Friday morning journey. Stay with us.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you, Kathy. So tomorrow's 420.
Yes.
I'd forgotten about that. And I saw a article this morning that was, I do have some things actually coming up in Connoisseur. Believe it or not, there are food specials you can get on 420.
Yeah.
So I'll get to those a little bit later
on. It's a smart move.
But I saw a list of stoner movies and shows to celebrate 420 with. And I thought this might be worth passing along to you.
Casey just mentioned what I think for me might be upper tier stoner movie is the Pineapple Express.
I really enjoyed that movie.
It is.
It's
have you ever seen it, Preston?
Really
I have not.
It's hilarious from beginning to end. It is really, and the friendship between James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
and I think James Franco steals. And Danny McBride.
Yeah. Nick, when you and I were in college, Dazed and Confused was like the big stoner movie at that time.
Like the Citizen Kane.
Because it was,
Up in Smoke would be.
It sort of transcended. It wasn't just. It was a lifestyle movie, but it was really a stoner movie, and it was really, really good. But then right after that, there was an onslaught of like, we're going to be the next stoner movie. There was a movie called like The Stoned Age that we watched, and it was like terrible. Nick, do you remember that one?
I don't remember Stone Age, no. But Dazed and Confused is one of those ones that sort of like germinated under the radar for a bit. That was a home video movie for us. I didn't see that in the theater. Right. It took 2 or 3 years after it came out for it to become loved as much as it is now.
For you, Preston, what was the first one that hit where a stoner movie? Up in Smoke,
man. That was yes. You couldn't get more.
I mean, it was
deep into weed culture than that movie.
Well, speaking of that movie and those guys, did you see Cheech and Chong on with Bert Kreischer yesterday?
No.
Yeah, so he does that cooking show.
Okay.
And they talk to him. They're talking about people that they've smoked weed with over the years, and Bert asks them who he's surprised that they, and the one person that Cheech says was Wally Cleaver. Apparently was a massive weed smoker.
Wow.
Jerry Mathers?
Yeah. No, Wally.
Wally.
Yeah.
Who was Wally?
Wally was the older brother.
The brother, yeah.
No way. Tony Dow?
Tony
that
Dow.
it? Yeah, okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I love that.
Yeah, we had those guys by one time, Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
Didn't we have both of them here?
Yeah.
Definitely Tom and Chong. There's a picture of.
We have Cheech too. Yeah.
My daughter was in here. She was maybe 4 years old or something
And
like
is she
that.
like in the back of the picture or something?
Literally, just a couple of months ago, she's like, "Dad, who is this guy holding me?" So right behind where you're standing, I have a picture of Tommy Chong holding Casey in her pajamas with her messy bed head.
That's funny.
I don't remember why I had her in the studio, but yeah, I'm like, dude, that's Tommy Chong.
And at the time, we couldn't even believe that movie could exist. Like they were allowed to show that much weed smoke. I thought it was illegal.
So in that movie, I think you'll agree, one of the main scene stealers is Stacy Keach.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so effing funny.
Yeah. So other movies that you might want to check out, according to this particular list, are The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. Some of these movies, it's great. I've never watched The Big Lebowski.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. And
love
it's
it, movie.
sacrilege to say
It
that.
took me a while to get around to it. It's a great movie.
Did it take you a while to love it?
I really liked it at the first, and I wouldn't even say that I love it right now. I appreciate it. I really enjoy it.
It's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it, but it took a few viewings for me to like really appreciate it. Although, I don't really think of it as a weed movie. He drinks White Russians a lot.
because of the dude.
It says,
Yeah.
it says Jeff Bridges is the dude, leads an all-star cast, including John Goodman, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Steve Buscemi. Oh, that's all it says about it. It says for a toke of stoner wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah, because he
Yeah.
does smoke pot and he's, constantly, not constantly, but he's smoking a joint. I love when he drops a joint in his lap when he's driving the car.
the best.
And then they cut to the outside of the car, just swerving and smashing into a dumpster. It's really, really funny stuff. I hosted the movie screening for that, Nick, at like the Ritz 5 when it initially came out, not knowing anything about it. When I left that movie theater, I was like, dude, I'm so glad I stayed for this because I loved it.
So it recommends why you might want to watch these. So
All right,
it
that's
says
good.
for Pineapple Express, it says a bromantic bud comedy.
And that's exactly what it is. It also has, for me, one of the funniest scenes. I know you haven't seen it, Preston, but there's a whole bunch of stuff smeared on the windshield. It's James Franco, who is the pot, pusher, distributor. And he kicks his foot trying to kick the windshield out. Seth Rogen, yeah, you can do it. I've seen it in movies. You can kick the windshield out. He puts his foot through the windshield, and he's driving.
Oh, no.
His foot is stuck in the
That's great. That's excellent.
Very
To watch while you satisfy your munchies, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Yeah.
Yes. I totally forgot.
All three of those.
That movie, all three of them, and Nick, an unsung hero, is their Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
It says where the phrase "Bye Felicia" came from. Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Chris Tucker and Ice Cube.
Do you consider that a so
Yeah.
You do? A pop movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. To learn something about the universe while getting high, watch Cosmos: A Space-Time Odyssey with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
All right.
Or the original.
So that's if you want to kind of, just get into the universe.
I always heard, and
while
this
being
is
high.
years ago. In fact, I think the movie company years ago, MGM, ran an ad for it as such, but for people who like to indulge seeing 2001.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yep. This says on this one to feel all right, dazed and confused.
Yeah.
To if Sean Penn will always be Spicoli to you, watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Because you remember they roll out of the van and all the smoke comes out.
Yeah.
He's smoking weed and banging the vans on his head and stuff like that. Now, it also says for a Marathon 420 celebration, that 70s show. Were they smoking a lot of weed?
All
on
the
that show?
time. All
Really?
the time. So they would have this, it was them sitting around the table. The camera would do a 360, and they were smoking pot in the basement.
All right, and now this movie I've never heard of. It says to have your mind completely blown, Annihilation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what is Oscar Isaac's in that?
Oscar
one?
Isaac, yes. And Natalie Portman.
What's it about?
So it is, what happens is we are led to believe that aliens have come to Earth and are terraforming our planet to resemble theirs.
Okay.
And there is some trippy stuff that happens in the movie.
Okay. And I think that's it.
But they call that a stoner movie? It's just a trippy movie.
And that's well, they made that caveat.
They-
Maybe
Yeah,
some of
okay.
this is to what you want to smoke and
Right.
watch.
Yeah.
What
So,
are we? What
I
am
just
looking
wanted to
at?
show you that picture. Of,
Oh my God!
It's so funny.
That is great. Casey's daughter, Casey, being held by Tommy Chong.
In like her little PJs.
She's a little bitty.
So, Casey,
baby.
what year is that?
Okay, I got to look at her.
Wow.
By the way,
2009.
That's a great
Yeah.
picture.
lest we forget,
Man.
he did jail time
Yeah.
for selling bong.
I used to
Paraphernalia.
have,
Yeah.
I used to have his contact information because we had him on the show. We had
A couple times.
Yeah, we had Tommy on a few times, and Cheech was definitely here too. How is Half Baked not on this list?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. That's the one I missed.
Oh.
It says, for those who still quote the Chappelle Show regularly, half-baked.
Yeah.
So if you want to see that, those are some suggestions for 420. You know what? I think I realized. I think we're in the junk drawer.
Oh,
I
all right.
apologize because I'd like to apologize.
It's the junk drawer. Preston's cleaning out his junk drawer. Getting things out of his junk drawer. Finding stuff here in the junk drawer.
I'd like to apologize. I apologize.
Little boy.
I'd like to apologize. I apologize. I'd like to apologize. I apologize.
Oh, thank you for that.
No
oh,
problem.
my God. Okay. Yeah, because I saw a couple things that I'd like to mention before we get into the weekend, and it is indeed the junk drawer. So, all right, I found this. LinkedIn's annual top companies list came out this week, highlighting the 50 best workplaces for career growth in the U.S. in 2024. This year's companies include well-known names such as Tech, Health, and Financial Services. In Tech, Health, and Financial Services. LinkedIn breaks down the report in two lists, one for mid-sized companies with at least 250 employees and one for large companies employing 5,000 or more workers. I just have the list of the large companies.
You know, it's a funny thing about LinkedIn is it actually makes me feel sad when it comes up because a lot of times, initially when it came out, I hopped on and I have, my account, and then people would reach out, to have me at some level be in their networking chain. I guess it was sort of is it
It's
a
like-
feather in the
it's
cap?
social
of a-
media.
Right.
It's social media, that's all it is.
Right. So, and I would always forget my login information. And like I logged on for the first time about 4 months ago, and a friend from years ago had reached out on LinkedIn, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
But you don't use it because you
I
don't really
use
need it.
I don't need it.
Yeah, and you have other social media platforms that you use, but it's really evolved into a workplace social media.
Right, and I'm woefully out of the loop.
I have an account, but I deactivated
Right.
it because that was the
Same
same
thing,
situation.
yeah.
And also, which I didn't know, is if you go to somebody else's profile or you look or whatever, they can see it. So there may be businesses like, hey, this business is checking me out. Maybe I
Right.
should reach out or look for an email coming from them or whatever. But I was using it for a few contacts for the show or more recently because I looked into reactivating my account or trying to log back in or whatever because
You think it might be a useful tool?
well, when we were down in Clearwater, there was somebody that I was trying to contact for the show, and I could see them on LinkedIn, but I couldn't see if their contact information was there because my account was I had to figure out my account. So
Right.
I think I'm going to open it back up. But for that reason, if there's somebody out there that we could potentially contact through LinkedIn, it might be worth it.
I never even thought to use LinkedIn for that type of stuff. I was actually talking about this last night, and so you know how you have your predictive text when you're sending a text
Yes.
that might say, oh, you might want this word and then this word and this word. But on LinkedIn and some of these other places, I think maybe Facebook has it, it's completely if somebody has a post on their LinkedIn profile, there is already for you to choose from an AI generated response, not just a hi, but
Right.
an AI
Hi,
generated
Grandma.
response that you click on that and it will send that response to whatever their hi, Grandma, whatever their post is.
Wow.
And that is all designed to help you develop your business and your
Correspond-
LinkedIn
yeah.
page and correspondence. Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
So to come up with the rankings, they used LinkedIn data to rate companies on 8 pillars that have been shown to lead career progression. Those include skill growth, gender diversity, the availability to advance, and company stability. So I'll give you the top 10 large U.S. companies to work for in 2020.
All right, let's hear them.
We'll start at number 10, Alphabet Incorporated.
Oh, Google.
Number 9 is Moderna.
Wait. Alphabet is Google?
Isn't that the umbrella corporation that is Google?
How about that?
Number 8 is Verizon. Number 7 is AT&T. Number 6, United Health Group. Number 5 is PwC.
PricewaterhouseCooper.
Oh, okay.
It's Quick.
Quick.
Casey,
Who do you work for?
you're so
Quick.
silly.
Quick. Hi, we have Steve from Quick on line 5.
He's one of those. He's one of those Quicks.
Yeah. You're a quick.
He's a quickhead.
What is how would you pronounce this case? Deloitte.
Yeah, that's.
How do you know that? You're on the other side of the room. Are you looking at the same list?
Mind reader.
Deloitte's. Go ahead.
Yes, I know how to read the list.
Nick, I didn't know you were looking at the list, so that's why I was asking
asked
how
me the
you
question
knew it.
and you answered it. And,
Yeah,
and
I
that
asked
wasn't
him.
up on the page.
I
so
asked
he-
Casey, and I'm like, how would the hell
Gotcha.
you're reading my mind?
Yes. Deloitte is a consulting company. My brother used to work for them. That's how I knew how it was pronounced.
Okay, number 3 is Wells Fargo.
What's that?
It's a bank.
Oh, well, the Wells Fargo wagon is. You guys remember that one? No? From Music Man?
Oh, I've heard.
I remember.
I've never actually heard it.
Pump, 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 pump.
That's Happy Days, which I watched yesterday, by the way.
Number 2.
Thank you.
I'm glad we know that.
Well,
It was the
I
one?
just finished Henry Winkler's biography.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
one.
was
It
it
was
good?
the episode, Steve, where they invite Fonzie to the yacht club to make fun of him.
Oh,
Do you remember
yeah,
that
so
one?
of course,
Yeah.
class warfare was a big part of both Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley.
Number 2 is Amazon. Best companies to work for.
So your son
impression.
does. Is he working tradition? Is he working technically for Amazon or a subsidiary of Amazon?
It's like a third party.
Okay.
So
But
they.
he drives the Amazon truck, right?
Yes.
but they didn't ask him to.
But the company is called Lightspeed, but they deliver for Amazon.
See, I always thought the people that drove the Amazon trucks worked for Amazon, and then when you get that random person in their own car tossing that's the.
They're working.
But I guess not.
I get there are vehicles that come that are not Amazon vehicles that are delivering Amazon stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But these say Amazon on them, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I should ask them.
It's such a huge company. You would imagine there are outside sources for it.
Yep. And then number 1 company to work for is J.P. Morgan Chase & Company,
Oh, get out.
according to LinkedIn and the parameters that they use to figure this out. Yeah.
It's interesting because, every one of these, there are people who, and every company who piss and moan and say, you got to be careful. I can't believe my company's on this list. They're horrible or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's all, you can find good experiences in a company that everyone hates, and you can find horrible experiences and everyone loves.
Does JP Morgan need a morning show?
Right? So they base this on skills growth, gender diversity,
And weight.
ability to advance, and company stability, along with how much you weigh. So that's what they use.
That's a very heavy company.
All right, we're going to move on. I found some other things here in the junk drawer. All right, here's one I've not heard of before. The hottest new thing in home trends is one that will help you keep the stresses of the outside world out of your living space. Meet rest corners.
Rest corners.
Yes, an area for you to rest.
Imagine if in your own home you could find one corner, like you don't have a room, you can just go into the corner.
So it's
Like, how bad has your life gotten where you can't close a door in a room and rest? You have to secure a corner.
I like this idea.
Well, I kind of have a corner.
Is it in a room that you could be in by yourself?
Yes, Steve, but it has.
So you have
but
multiple
Steve,
corners.
But hold on, it has glass doors, so it's not like even if I close the doors, Jace can still see me and get to me. The cats. It's where I broadcast when I was broadcasting from
right.
home.
And the cats would knock on the
cats
door.
knock on the door, so they can. So I have like a corner in there that I can go to where like maybe the cats can't see me.
Maybe I'm missing this thing. What are the aspects of the corner?
All right, so apparently they're popping up social media here and there, Pinterest, and everybody has a different idea, an own idea of what a
very subjective.
rest corner is. So it can be a corner or small space in your home that is devoted to chilling in your own way. People use them for reading, meditating, napping.
That's what I do. I read.
Doing yoga, lounging, enjoying self-care, rubbing one out.
No, it does not say that.
That's my corner.
It doesn't say that.
Kathy, you read?
Soothing hobbies.
You rub one out?
Knitting.
Knitting. Sorry.
Wait, hold on.
Painting or doing puzzles.
I'm not painting in there. That's a mess. Yes, I read, Casey.
Like
What
you
do
read books and stuff?
Yes.
Listen, I've known you a long time, and I know that you are a beautifully intelligent person. So this isn't but I've never heard you say anything about a book
reading.
that you love reading.
The Life and Times of David Faustino.
I actually saw Kathy reading down in Clearwater.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you were out on the lounge chair. Remember I came down?
Yeah, when you
You're
came to
reading
join me,
your
yes.
airline ticket.
No, no, Case. I think when you reach a certain point in your life, a certain age, women, they become readers.
They
And,
just, okay.
I mean, it's relaxing. That's what I'll do. I'll go into my rest corner and I will read my book. Or yes, when we were away in Clearwater, I was there by myself. I loved it. I sat on the beach.
My
read
wife
book.
is a voracious reader, loves it. It is anytime she can get, she's the classic, pull up a book and start reading, and she loves it. She's currently tearing through the Reacher series, Preston. But yeah. For me, the only way I can consume stuff like that is now listening to Audible.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about or ever taken part in a book club?
So I'm not part of a book club, but only because we've talked about it. My group of friends, all of my neighbors, we swap books. Everybody is, once you finish a book, you pass it on to someone else. But we haven't gotten to the point where we're sitting down and discussing the same book that we read.
Do you guys want to hear how to make a rest corner?
Please.
Okay. So you start by finding a space that you want to dedicate to this purpose, one that's away from screens and noise, ideally. A low traffic area is probably best, but it could be in any room or even a closet, as long as it's a place that you can decompress.
Okay.
You section it off if you can with curtains, privacy screens, or you move furniture to help it feel a little more secluded.
So you're building a fort.
You're kind of,
Yes.
That's what you're doing.
You're building a fort.
You're building a fort, guys.
But you're also going for
I love that.
you're going for it to be clandestine. You as Kathy said, you want to not almost be invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And you are in a fort.
When was the last time you built a fort?
Oh, sorry.
I think I need to do that today.
It's been a while, but we used to do it with the kids.
There are places in my house where it's fortish. Like when I and we call it the media room, which is where I have the audio stuff, and that feels like I close the door, and that's where I can get away.
But you got to use a blanket.
Yeah, blankets involved.
Yeah.
No.
Then it becomes a sleep corner.
Yeah.
No. I mean, to make a fort.
Oh, the fort. Sorry.
Well, you need sofa pillows.
Well, so now they make, and because I just saw it on my Instagram feed, basically it's like a fort in a box, and it is just a series of cardboard.
Yes.
We had them.
Okay.
We had them, and it was towards the end of Jace's fort building time. So we only used them a few times, but it was cool. It was instead of using chairs and blankets and clips and this and that like we did as kids.
Think of a cardboard igloo.
No, but the reason I have this expression on my face, I thought we talked to somebody who created that or something like that. Or maybe I saw a news story about it, about this family that has created this. You order it and it's sent to you, and you have all these pieces that you put together.
You're not talking about the
actual cardboard.
Okay, you're not talking about the dream huts where they come and they.
No.
Okay.
No, this was maybe I saw it on the news, but so you can do that. All right. Anyhow, back to the rest corner. They recommend you use calming shapes and colors, like nature-inspired blues and greens to add to the relaxation.
It's like mine. I swear to God.
To make it as cozy as possible, and add a soft faux fur rug or fluffy blanket over a chair.
That's
perfect.
And don't forget a plant or two and some candles. Do you have all of that?
I don't have candles in my house.
Right, that's true.
But I do have a plant.
If your rest corner can be near natural light, even better, and it will help you feel even more relaxed if you can do that. But I like the idea of light. I look for a spot where it can be just me alone. Sometimes when I'm doing work, I like to have a nice...
Absolutely.
And I don't like to sit at a desk and do work. I like to recline.
Where's your favorite spot in the house for you? Your if it's not technically a corner, where do you find this solace in the house?
There's a special spot on our living room couch, and that's if nobody's watching TV or anything like that I can kind of settle in and I have everything that I need right then and there. But actually, where I like to go when it's Christmas and we put the tree up, we have to move a section of the couch.
Yes.
And then we move that to a whole other room where it's kind of where my little bar and game room is.
Okay.
And we move that section of the couch in there. And it's literally, if you know sectionals, it's one sectional piece, and that's it. And this sits in the front room, and it's all by itself. We just put it there to get it out of the way for the tree. I go in there and sit on that.
May I suggest something?
I love it.
Why don't you get something like a couch or something that's like that and just put that in that room?
I know. Unfortunately, it doesn't. Where we put it gets in the way of other things.
On the dining room.
It's just there for a month, so we don't really have to deal with it for too much. But it's in front of the dartboard and stuff like that. But I would like to do that, to be honest. So, all right. So anyhow, rest corner. It's a great
Rest corner.
Great idea. All right, we have time for another one.
One more.
Oh man.
busting at the seams here.
Yeah, this is a good one, too. I'd like to apologize. All right, I got it. Sorry.
I apologize.
Wallet Hub has come out with their list of 2024's best airlines.
Wallet Hub.
Yeah, they compared the 9 largest U.S. airlines plus a regional carrier on 13 factors, including cancellation and delay rates, baggage mishaps, in-flight comfort, and cost in relation to amenities.
Are we in the, I assume that we're in, right in the summer vacation planning throes right now, right?
You were definitely planning our summer vacation. So the best airline overall, Alaska Airlines.
With
The door coming off. Right? Yeah, Alaska Airlines.
For those who don't require doors on their aircraft.
Yeah. Nick, you had issues with Alaska last year.
It was 2 years ago, I think, and it was American, and they transferred me onto an Alaska Airlines flight, and I think the reason they were able to do that is that they're in the same umbrella company.
They probably are,
but I'm probably wrong.
No, because that's happened to me before. Like I've ended up on some airline that was supposed to be American. It's got to be somehow connected.
So they're not with this airline. It doesn't have as much coverage as other airlines. So what do they say makes it so good?
You know, Steve, there are the 4 majors. I just found this out.
Right.
Delta, United, American, and Southwest, and Alaska is the 5th of the majors.
Wow.
Okay.
So, but you're right. I mean, it doesn't have nearly as many routes, and so maybe because they have fewer routes, they can service their customers a little better.
Yeah.
So,
and they fly at an altitude where they don't require both doors.
It's just the overall of the factors, which include cancellation, delay, mishap, baggage mishaps, in-flight comfort, cost, and
in-flight snacks include blubber.
All that stuff. So the most affordable airline is Spirit Airlines.
Spirit.
Most reliable airlines, Delta Airlines.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who fly for their corporate office, and they fly Delta because they are the most reliable. Because they'll be flying from one appointment in one city to another appointment in another, and if you get delayed or canceled, then you miss your meeting.
They love to fly, and
it shows. I never use Delta. I never even think about it.
But that's
so expensive.
why.
That's why. Like if you go through I listen, I fly almost exclusively American. I've flown Frontier and Spirit, which is fine. It's affordable, basically sitting in a lawn chair, but
Philly's a hub for American. It's easy to find a flight you want.
Yes, it is.
So John, who works down the hall, he lived in Atlanta for a while, and Atlanta was a hub, I believe, for Delta, and so he flies exclusively Delta. I just think it's just too cost prohibitive. I have never seen a Delta flight where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's affordable.
Okay.
It's always been like hundreds of dollars more expensive.
Wow. The most comfortable airlines, Delta Airlines as well, and JetBlue, it says.
Yeah. My family in New York flies JetBlue. You don't know? You don't like it, Steve?
My JetBlue experiences have been less than wonderful.
Oh.
But I was upset that both doors stayed on.
And then the last one category is the safest airline, and that's Spirit Airlines. Casey, you wanted to comment on Spirit?
Yeah, well, I flew home from Detroit on Spirit for $22.
Wow.
Uh-huh. We weren't able to bring a bag with us, so I only had my backpack. Listen, it's fine. I can fly in a chair, and I'm only 5'7", so I fit, in these chairs a little bit better than most people or anybody taller than me.
I thought you were 6'1".
That's what my license says.
God, what if they did like Shorty Airlines for smaller people?
Yeah, yeah.
And Longy Airlines.
Longy Airlines
longer people.
for the talls.
But I'm saying, those chairs, I mean, you're sitting in a folding chair. It is very, very uncomfortable, but totally manageable and doable for an hour and
I think
15 minutes.
On another note, the greatest improvement, revelation, has been the extension. I don't know why I'm so gerbing today, but of the overhead compartment, making it
Oh my God! Yes,
much wider.
Well, and the way they
much wider, and the way they open.
The way they open is so much better now.
It's been a godsend.
And they have also had people to put them in. They tell you to put it in the right way. Put it in like a book.
Way. Yes.
They say you don't lay it sideways.
Been awesome. Yeah,
and it fits much better, and they can fit more.
So when it comes to discount airlines, and I want to ask this question delicately, but does it invite people who don't know air travel etiquette? Do you know what I mean? Because
I think there's that all over the airlines.
All over the airlines, because on my flight back from Detroit, I ran into, there was a group of people that I thought were just completely and totally annoying and rude and didn't care about your personal space. And then one lady in particular who I was First of all, she had a patch on her backpack that said "F around, find out." I was like, okay, that's what you travel with.
Okay.
But then she was using her younger daughter as a blocker as she was coming off of the flight. She was probably 5 rows behind me and got off the plane 5 rows ahead of me. I'm like, how did that actually happen?
That doesn't sound like not knowing the etiquette. That sounds like not giving a damn about the etiquette.
Trying to get in the system.
Yeah.
Rude
Marissa?
people.
I just have to piggyback on Casey's spirit because I've been flying Frontier a lot because I can get to and from Denver in like $50.
Yeah.
And as long as as long as you are just bringing a backpack for the weekend, like that's all. I think the problem comes
$50.
Even less sometimes, Steve. Like each flight will sometimes be like $22.
So you just bring on a backpack.
That's it.
Yep.
And you're going round trip to Denver.
Yeah. And then
You could easily just buy the clothes that you're going to need for the weekend there and then throw them away. And you're still going to save tons of money in the long run.
Think of what would like like a Bolt bus is like $10-20, right? That's half an airline ticket to Denver.
guys, the last flight I just booked, I splurged and spent $19 to get an exit row window seat.
Wow.
I still want to try that Avelo Airlines out of Wilmington. They don't do a ton of flights every day, but you can get to like Puerto Rico for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You're 5 foot nothing. You don't need to be sitting in the exit row seat. I'm over 6 feet tall. Get out of that thing.
Well, you can buy it.
And it's the exit row.
I'm saying she doesn't need it, though.
It's the exit row that doesn't have a seat in front of it either. So I have like all the leg room.
The seats
up.
don't
Turning your
recline
microphone
either.
off.
It doesn't matter where you sit.
Yeah.
Like those
the seats don't recline?
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, but 22
Who cares?
Yeah.
I think the
Who
problem
care?
is when people try to go on like a week-long vacation with multiple bags and everything like
Yeah,
that.
but you know what?
That's when it.
I've done that. I've flown to the Caribbean on Frontier, and even so, it was cheaper. I did it because it was cheaper than the other airlines. I think even
And
with
they do pressurize the wheel well.
no, but even with the baggage fees and the seat fees that you have to add on, it does still end up being slightly cheaper depending on when you fly.
All right, well, listen, we got to wrap it up. I'm sorry. We're getting close to time to give away some money, so we got to close up the junk drawer. I apologize.
That was the junk drawer. Preston's closing up the junk drawer. There's nothing left here in the junk drawer.
I'd like to
Until next
apologize.
time, that was the junk drawer.
I apologize.
All right, we are going to take a break. We'll come back in a second with your first shot at winning $1,000 this morning. Good morning, it. Good money, it. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, the keyword is status. S-T-A-T-U-S. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter it. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com via the MMR app, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. And then one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com. It is brought to you by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So again, the Good Money at Cash contest keyword is status. S-T-A-T-U-S. Good luck to you, and let's ring in our No Sad Bro Friday. I want to mention Froggy has a new EP coming out.
Yes,
why did that go off on purpose?
Because it's an automatic. Like,
Turn that off.
I got
Froggy, the EP, will be coming out on April 26th. So I wanted to mention that for the crew.
I love some of the song titles, as always. They're wonderful.
Yeah, there's one called Kiss My Ass. That's the only one that I've heard so far. So I wanted to mention that. So we love that band. Let's get into the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Natural Lawn of America. Natural Lawn has been creating green lawns quickly, more naturally, and with fewer weeds since 1987. Get free seeding every year. Call 800-FREE-SEED now. All right, a lot of people sent me this story, and for good reason. A woman has been arrested after taking a dead man into a bank in a wheelchair and tried to get him to sign off a 4-figure loan in her name.
This footage is some of the most depressing crap you'll ever see.
There's video. It's horrible.
It's unbelievable.
Suspicious bank staff started filming the pair and ended up calling for an ambulance as police said she used her hand to keep the deceased man's head upright and told him, "Uncle, are you listening?
Oh, my
You have
God.
to sign it. I can't sign it for you."
Yeah, she's totally Weekend at Bernie's. him.
Paramedics confirmed Paolo Roberto Braga, who was 60 years old, had passed away a few hours earlier when they reached the bank. This is in Rio de Janeiro. Erica de Souza Vieira Nunes told police after she was arrested at the scene that she was his niece as well as his carer. Officials have appeared to signal that they are related and are said to be checking video cameras inside and outside the bank to see if Mr. Braga's family member was on her own or with alleged accomplices amid suspicion that they could have been dealing with an organized fraud. The results of a post-mortem to establish the cause of death have not yet been made public. Footage showed the detainee telling her supposed uncle to grip hold of his pen hard as she placed it between his fingers and encouraged him to sign a piece of paper on a desk in front of him alongside of his photo ID and his name that had his name on it.
We believe he is dead. This is an outrage.
The video showed the dead man's head swaying back and forth before she grabbed hold of his neck with her left hand from behind, and she urged him, "Sign here and stop giving me a headache." But was met by a logical silence from the man as she was pretending to have a conversation with him. The bank worker witnessing the scene replied, "I don't think this is legal. He doesn't look well. He's very pale," prompting Erica to reply, "He's like that."
Dead.
Before she told the corpse, "If you're not well, I can take you to the hospital. Do you want to go back to the hospital again?" Local reports said the loan was for $5,000. So it's just,
Imagine what life has become when you're doing that.
So disturbing. All right, how about this? This is a different kind of scam. A Canadian con man claiming to be a psychic has been hammered with a 10-year prison sentence after being found guilty of swindling tens of millions of dollars from more than 1 million Americans for more than 20 years. Patrice Runner has been putting out promises of wealth and happiness in exchange for cash sent his way through the mail. Cash that ended up totaling, get this, about $175 million, it says.
Holy hell.
In the scam, customers receive letters from Runner and his associates falsely claiming to be personal correspondence sent by well-known so-called psychics Maria Duval and Patrick Guerin. Once victims responded, they were then bombarded with additional letters and requests. In a 2023 interview, Runner was quoted as saying, "Maybe it's not moral, maybe it's BS, but it doesn't mean it's fraud."
That's some wiggle room there.
The legal system disagreed, hitting him on charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, 8 counts of mail fraud, and a bunch of other things on top of that, money laundering.
I have a take on this, and I think it's going to interest you.
Yes.
That it's not fraud.
It's not fraud. So he apparently is facing a decade behind bars.
Jeez.
All right, this is messed up. A man stabbed his mother to death and injured his father after an argument went awry on their home in Taiwan. The 36-year-old, surnamed Zhu, was on the second floor of their home with his mom that night when the latter discovered that the TV remote wasn't working. The woman, who was in her 60s, reportedly uttered a few words to him, sparking an argument between the two. Enraged, he reportedly picked up a 7-inch fruit knife and attacked her, stabbing her repeatedly in the chest and abdomen. This is over the remote control.
The remote. Now, I've had my issues with the remote now and then, but I seldom think to reach for a knife.
Zhu's father heard the commotion from the floor below and went up to check on him, discovering his wife laying in a pool of blood. He tried to stop his son, causing both to get injured. And
I wanted to watch Wheel of Fortune.
In the struggle, police later arrived and arrested Zhu, who suffered injuries to his hands while his father had wounds on both of his hands.
Who did this, you?
And his head as well. So, wow.
It's horrible. I mean, but you know, so domestic situations, it just goes all to hell. Is it sea sucker?
No. All right, there's a popular product for calming grumpy sheep in the UK, and it may surprise you. It's Axe body spray.
Whoa.
Wow, man.
Across the pond, they call it Lynx Africa.
Lynx Africa.
That's what Axe body spray is called. But it's still the same and very effective. Rams stop fighting when they are sprayed with it. Axe is becoming a widespread solution for calming aggressive sheep down, apparently.
So the commercials tell us domestically that it drives women crazy.
The secret to Axe's effectiveness is the fact that the scent is confusing because there's nothing like it in nature. And so they react to it in that way. It distracts them. So
That's pretty interesting.
I thought that was pretty wild. All right, and then one last story, and we will wrap it up with this. A woman has told how her house was pelted with batteries exploding from a massive inferno at a recycling plant last week in the UK. Becca Black's garden was finally cleared after safety teams swept the area. It followed the massive blaze on a site Monday night. Neighbors were forced to flee during the terrifying late-night fire, which took days to fully bring under control. Becca, who lives less than 50 yards from the plant, watched in horror as flames engulfed the site. She told how batteries from the facility began landing on her property, while dozens coming to rest in her front and back garden.
So were explosions hurling the batteries at the house?
I believe so.
All right.
Becca was eventually allowed to return to her property as fire crews worked to dampen the smoke last week, but ended in the hospital suffering some side effects. She has since returned home, but admitted to feeling like a prisoner in her home, she says.
Wow.
Residents reported the area resembling a war zone as the blaze took hold, with explosions heard up to 3 miles away. And that is all I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, you still got a few minutes left. You got about 5 minutes to enter the word status for $1,000 in MMR's Good Money It. So the word is status, S-T-A-T-U-S. So make sure you do that now. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a moment. Later on, we have comedian Troy Bond joining us, Garrett Stubbs from the Phils, and I believe we're going to get to the connoisseur here shortly. Lots of tickets to give away with this segment. We'll be right back.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. So I think we need to, it's connoisseur time. Let's do it.
It's time for the connoisseur, the extra special cool comedy giveaway edition.
This is true. We have lots of different tickets to comedy events that we're going to give away. Anthony Jeselnik and Kevin Hart. So listen up. We will play, and we're going to do a special 420 food clip series on the connoisseur. So we'll get to one in a moment. I'm going to start with a story first. First order in for the connoisseur. Marissa sent me this story. I found this interesting. The triangular brick building that served as Mighty Mick's boxing gym in the Rocky movies is slated to become a tasting room for the Kensington-based Lost Time Brewery Company. So they're going to make that into a functional place to come by.
Marvelous Fargois.
And Fargois? The building, no, it's for a beer, Lost Time Brewing Company.
Okay, so it was more pub food.
The building is a at the five-way intersection near
drunker than that.
The Market Frankfurt line's York Dolphin stop at 2147 North Front Street.
That's right, it stinks!
Matt Iannelli, the co-owner of Lost Time, said, "We're a brewery founded on bringing people together, and what's cooler than doing it at a building that means so much to Philadelphia?"
That is pretty cool. Any plans to have any sort of accoutrement from a Rocky? I mean, you could obviously do whatever you wanted to. Are they going to put a boxing ring right in the middle of it?
They have not indicated. So they just essentially have announced that this is what they're going to be doing.
That's great. I mean, it's an iconic place.
Yeah.
I had one.
Ding, ding.
I've never been there in person to see it.
I've seen it.
Should do that.
Yeah.
Did you ever take have you taken like a Rocky tour or something?
I just happened to be in the area and I forget who I was with, but they pointed it out.
I'd like to do that sometime.
I was with Rocky.
Founded in 2022, this is the first retail location for the Small Batch Brewing Company. Current beer listings include a German Pilsner, an American IPA, a Sour Ale, and a New England Pale Ale.
Nice.
Lost Time's production facility will remain in a northern part of Kensington, but the retail space is expected to be open by the end of the summer, so they're going to get working on it.
The exterior that is used to depict Rocky's row home, and with the elevated staircase and all that stuff.
Yeah.
is that in the city proper, or where is that?
I think it's in South Philly.
Yeah.
I think they did all the filming there. So I remember he visited it a few years back when he was in town. But
even in the movie, he's running that as a fine French restaurant.
I couldn't tell you exactly where that is, but I'm pretty certain it's all in
It seemed to be,
South
right?
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right, let's play a clip and see if you can figure out what movie this food clip is. Won the 420 edition. Here's our first one.
He lives in North Hollywood on Radford near the In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, the In-N-Out Burger's on Camrose.
Near the In-N-Out Burger.
Those are good burgers, Walter.
Shut the up, Tommy.
215-263 WMMR. Order up. All right. Saw this yesterday. Red Lobster it may be considering Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
It was sad to see this. I mean, obviously, it doesn't mean they're dying. It just means they're sort of regrouping.
Yeah.
But still.
Reports say the seafood chain is considering filing to restructure its debt, renegotiate lease, and shed some long-term contracts. Insiders say a final decision on restructuring hasn't been made as of yet. They have hundreds of locations across the U.S. and Canada. The company has not commented on the report. The first Red Lobster opened in 1968 in Lakeland, Florida. I did not know that.
But this was all kind of stemmed back to a promotion they did. Did you see that?
Their bankruptcy promotion.
No, it says that they're eyeing bankruptcy because $11 million in losses from the endless shrimp promotion.
We talked about that. I forgot about that, Kath. Yeah. Yeah, like people took advantage of it big time. And it was just essentially, sometimes businesses will do a promotion that they're not going to make money on to get people in the door.
Yes.
Right. Hopefully you keep them coming back. And that's part of that. And I think they overshot on the unlimited shrimp thing.
And they said this is they weren't, doing excellent prior to it, but this is sort of what pushed them to this point.
They were just about to go ahead with a take the money out of the register promotion.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That would get people in the stores,
it would,
right?
But I mean, still, in the long run, it would hurt them.
I've not been to Red Lobster in ages. I do. We do purchase their Cheddar Bay biscuits that you make at home.
That's all I've ever actually
fantastic.
had. I don't think I've ever eaten at a Red Lobster, but those biscuits are awesome.
In college, I would go there just for the biscuits. You guys know I don't even like seafood. I'm not eating. I would
biscuits.
My boyfriend would order, tons of seafood, and I would just eat the biscuits.
I'm sorry, Nick. What on the menu besides the seafood? Do they have a burger? Do they have?
They have. I mean, I can go to a seafood heavy restaurant because they always have something that I can get. So,
pasta or something.
There's an option there, but I would be like, I'll go to Red Lobster, and it was solely for the biscuits.
The biscuits.
Casey, there was a Red Lobster near the Granite Run Mall, right off, and I think the Miller's is there now, and the Riddle Ale House, that with that stretch of one is there was a
Red Lobster there.
There was because I went there for my birthday 4 or 5 years in a row. My grandmother lived right near the Granite Run Mall, and so that for me was like
fine dining,
Steve. And for whatever reason, there was Red Lobster and Seafood Shanty, and those two were
Seafood Shanty.
Those were the seafood restaurants that I would go to when I was growing up.
I love those kind of chain. There was a website I was on, this kind of nostalgic look back at some of those chains, and some that are still here and some that have gone away. But great memories, right?
It's totally nostalgic. I don't even know if the seafood was any good, but when I was 15, it was damn good.
Wow. There's on social media, they have something posted that says fascizi so cheesy.
Okay.
For the Cheddar Bay biscuits. They are quite tasty. All right, let's see if you can identify this clip.
He lives in North Hollywood on Radford near the In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, the In-N-Out Burger's on Camrose.
Near the In-N-Out Burger.
Those are good burgers, Walter.
Shut the up, Tommy.
All right, let's go to Brad. Hey, Brad.
Good morning.
Good morning to see you, Brad. What movie is that from?
The Big Lebowski.
Yes, it is.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Absolutely. Brad, listen to what we have for you, man.
We got a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Kevin Hart Acting My Age Tour. That's going to be on Wednesday, December 4th, and this is going to be at the Met, Philadelphia. Tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster, and you can find more information at PrestonandSteve.com.
All right, Brad, hang on the line. We'll get your info. We'll set you up. Kevin Hart tickets, man.
Yes.
All right, next clip, Case, if you would not mind. We'll play another one, see if you can identify what movie this one is from.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. God. Man, you get one of them burritos too, man? Wants to eat a little bit of ice cream with it. Oh, come on, ice cream.
All right. 215-263-WMMR. Order up with the connoisseur. All right. Online reservation site, Open Table. You guys use that?
I've used it occasionally.
I use it a fair amount.
It's actually very good.
Yeah, and a lot of times if you go on to a website of a restaurant and it will say, make reservations, you click on reservations, it takes you right to Open Table.
Yeah.
And you'll do that through there. So they have implemented a new policy to reduce anonymity among their users. And they cited improvements in the authenticity of their services. OpenTable is now requiring users to identify themselves with their first names and profile images when posting reviews.
So I forget who I was talking to. There was an issue, and I remember it might have been McGrogan, it might have been Dave McGrogan talking about it, but that, and I think it has something to do with a competitor might be able to
sabotage
you.
Yeah. The company had planned to anonymize past submissions, but later reverse that decision. The move is part of a larger trend making the internet a little less anonymous and comes on the heels of employer review site Glassdoor beginning to require users to provide their real names. Critics of the policy changes suggest that it won't take long for users to find workarounds. But I mean, still, you got to try something. This is someone's livelihood.
Yeah,
it's a restaurant that
well,
they own,
it's like when you have people flood, false reviews to a place, and we've advertised services that help you get those off your Yelp reviews and all that stuff because it is a bit of online terrorism.
When you guys use OpenTable, do you then get an email the next day asking for you to submit a review for that restaurant?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I more often than not do submit the review because more often than not it's a good time. And I want it, Steve, like to your point, I want to at least boost them a little
Support
bit.
them, yeah.
Because there's so many and it's so easy to do a negative review.
Great time. All my date ate was biscuits.
So they're starting to require users to identify themselves. So if you want to place a review, you got to put your name in a picture. I think.
Wait, I want to take back something I said. Maybe it was last Friday when we talked about restaurants. Remember when we talked about the time limit on the table?
Yes.
And I was like, I can't stand when they do it, blah, 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 whatever. I spoke to a restaurant owner, a friend of mine who owns a restaurant, and she had no idea I had made that comment, and we got into a conversation about it. And
Did she call you the C word?
No. She had no idea even said it. I didn't even indicate that I didn't like this. And she explained to me why they have a time limit on their tables. She's a small restaurant, and she said, if I don't turn over these tables, I don't make money.
Yeah.
Like she was like,
the profit margin is so narrow on these
yes.
things. Yeah.
And so she was telling me she had to ask, and she said she doesn't do it unless she needs the table. So she had a large table and she needed the table. The people had been there for, I think she said like an hour and 45. And she said they were finished. They were just sitting there chatting. They were still ordering drinks, but she said I needed the table. So she nicely asked them to leave, and they like flipped their lid. They told her they're never returning, like the whole thing. And after she told me the whole story, I was like, I get it. I didn't say I'm sorry to her because she didn't know I said that, but I want to say that on the air. But now, after speaking to her,
you understand it now.
I get
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's big of you.
This has been a Kathy Romano retraction. All right, let's see if you can identify this movie.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. Did you get one of them burritos too, man? Wants to eat a little bit of ice cream with it. Oh, come on, ice cream.
All right, let's go to Frank. Yo, Frank, morning, buddy.
Good morning.
All right, Frank, what movie is that from?
Cheech and Chong, Up in Smoke?
Yes, it is absolutely correct, sir. Hang on the line. You're a winner.
Frank just won a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Anthony Jeselnik's Bones and All tour. It's going to be Saturday, April 27th at the Miller Theater, and you can get tickets at KimmelCulturalCampus.org.
All right, these are 420 food clips from movies.
Quick question, and as someone who's never had the munchies or anything like that, it does.
It's real.
It's real. And does everything taste spectacular?
Yes.
It does.
Yes. It depends. I mean, sometimes more so than others, but I remember especially in the early days of discovering the evil weed, that it was just I mean, if you had cake or something, it was just like, oh my God.
Really?
It tastes good. It feels good. Like
all of it.
everything.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, you
Because
just-
cake is pretty good to begin with.
I know,
Yeah.
but your senses are just heightened.
Heightened,
And we would eat anything.
Yeah,
Oh
you would
my
go
God.
salty to sweet.
Oh,
You can't- I
and
mean, you can go
back and forth, or that would
It was
salty
I mean,
ending
for
in
me, it
sweet?
was always salty then sweet.
Okay.
It was never really a back and forth.
All right.
Yeah.
So I was never a pot smoker, so I also don't know,
Yeah.
what you guys are talking about. But having alcohol and then, eating at the end of the night, no matter what, it could be like a gas station burrito, and you're like, that was so good. And then if you go back and you try it sober, you're like, that's disgusting.
You've got to come to me. Come with me. There's a Sunoco
But
that
is
has
it-
the best sandwiches.
Is it like that, or do you know what I mean? Like, are you then going to that food, a week later sober, and you're like, that's not what I thought it was?
I don't know. I
It
don't
just
remember anything like
intensifies
that.
the taste?
It does. And I remember becoming very covetous of food when being high, too, because there was a particular moment my buddy Ben and I were really, really baked. And I had club crackers, those.
yeah,
they're
yeah.
so good. They're buttery and yummy.
Yeah.
And I'm just tearing through a sleeve of them, Steve. And he's like, "Man, give me some of those." And I knew that Ben didn't like anything that had nuts in it.
Right, yeah.
And so I said, "No, man, these have nuts in them." You would like them." And he's like, "Oh." He sat there for about 2 minutes. He goes, "No, they don't."
The wheels are spinning for 2 minutes. Yeah. Did you run the sleeve?
Oh, totally.
Of course, yeah.
By the way, those are really good with cheese.
Yes, they are.
That reminds
especially
me-
when you're high. Actually, Case, I wanted to ask Kathy a question real quick. I was with you a decade ago, and I was super high, and you were probably drunk, and your husband was driving us around. He was sober. Do you remember this night? Because I made him drive us to McDonald's on the way home.
Yeah. No. Do I? No. I
I
probably don't
ordered
remember.
like half of the stuff that was on the menu, and it was 2 McChickens, 3 large fries, and like a chocolate shake. and then so we got back to your house. I was crashing it for whatever reason. I think it was a show event or whatever. We got back to your house afterwards, and I ate all of it, and then felt so terrible the next day. And it was all a result of smoking way too much weed.
Wow. It definitely affects it. All right, let's see if you can identify what movie. We're doing another one?
Yeah.
What movie this is from.
Looks like you guys had some night, huh?
I want 30 sliders, 5 French fries, and 4 large cherry cokes.
I want the same, except make mine Diet Cokes. Chuck.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know what movie that's from. All right, I've done this once before. I'm doing it again in a connoisseur. It's time for the fast food roundup. This is where I take all the fast food stories and cram them into one segment.
We love this part.
I have a few of these. We'll start with this. McDonald's has brought back bagels to its breakfast menu.
By super popular demand. I
Yeah.
was reading an article about this.
Not everywhere yet, but the fan favorites are not nationwide as they are in at least 1,200 restaurants and could return to all 14,300 U.S. outlets later this year. Bagels were first introduced in McDonald's late in 2019, but they were soon cut when the bosses simplified the menu in the spring of 2020 during the pandemic. Since then, fans on Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook have been calling for their return. And customers in Pennsylvania,
Yes.
California.
We make things happen.
It says Nashville.
Nashville, Pennsylvania.
Nashville, okay. Florida, Tennessee, Iowa, West Virginia.
All cities in PA.
North Carolina, Ohio, Alabama, and New York, the nation's bagel capital, have seen them return. Prices vary between restaurants. The bacon and sausage bagels are selling for $4.69 in some outlets. The steak is dearer at $5.39. I remember seeing a comedy bit ages and ages ago and it was Kevin Pollak when he was doing stand-up.
Yes, yeah.
And he was talking about, hey, McDonald's, or I think it was McDonald's or another place, and they had introduced a bagel. And he's like, great, Jewish food, excellent. And what did you put on it? Bacon, sausage, and ham. And he's like, trust me, guys, you don't want to do that.
You know what? So I'm a big fan of bagels, and growing up in New York, and my sister-in-law just came down, and they brought down great bagels. But the McDonald's bagel, used the way it is used, is pretty damn good.
All right, so enjoy. All right, also in the fast food roundup is right now Chipotle. I'm going to call them fast food. They're more fast casual, but they are bringing on their multi-year partnership with the NHL. They are bringing back their popular Wear Your Hockey Jersey BOGO promotion. This is actually a pretty damn good deal. So coinciding with the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs after 3 p.m., local time on Monday, April 22nd, at participating Chipotle restaurants in the U.S. and Canada, customers who come in wearing a hockey jersey are entitled to a buy one, get one free deal on entrees.
At Chipotle?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah, so you get a free entree, essentially. Buy one, get one. The deal is only good for in-store purchases. It doesn't include catering, mobile, online, or delivery orders.
Preston, I have a gimp mask that has an ashtray attached to it. Do they offer something for that?
Try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
It might. You know, I went to Chipotle earlier. This actually went twice this week, but I was so happy with the guy serving because the white rice was at the very, very end of the little container thingy, and he went over to a different container and he got me the white. And then also the meat was full. I hate it when I show up to Chipotle and like it's the very, very end of the bin.
You appreciate that those little things.
Mm-hmm. So there are certain limitations to this. I don't know what they are though. Chipotle is the official Mexican-themed quick service and fast casual dining option of the NHL.
Well, you think hockey, you think Mexican food.
Right? Yeah. So I don't know how they tied in, but they did. So it's a pretty good deal. All right, one more in the fast food roundup. Wendy's has launched a new promotion offering free French fries every Friday for the rest of the year.
All right. So did they hear the story about Red Lobster?
So, the deal, which starts today, will allow customers to enjoy any size of fries free of charge with any purchase with no minimum price required to use the deal.
What the hell?
So you can go in and just buy, I guess, like a small soda, and you get free
large
fries. With that. Yeah.
I think Wendy's fries are fine.
I think they're great.
It's for in-store or mobile orders.
Okay.
But has to be activated through their app, so they're trying to get people.
Trying to drive with the, all right, so on that level, that might be good.
And loaded onto a payment card prior to purchase.
Oh, okay. So you put, okay, all right, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. So that including today, there are 37 Fridays left in the year for fans of Wendy's fries to take advantage
so
of the
they're
deal.
trying to people to drill in deep on the app by putting money on the app.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a damn good promotion.
You assume someone crunched the numbers, as Jackie Bam Bam says, and it made sense.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the cheapest thing on their menu is. So could you go in and get a small coffee? Because with a purchase.
Yeah, it says no purchase, no minimum price required to use the deal.
I've always wondered about some of those pricing policies where they'll have the small, medium, and large something for the same price.
Right.
You've seen that, right? It's like...
You mean like a drink or something?
Like a drink, yeah.
I think so.
Well, because it's like preference of what you want. Like, you know what I mean? So some people are going to be like, you know what? I don't want the calories, so I'm just going to get the small, whereas someone's going to be like,
But I'll get it in a large cup.
Yeah.
No, but somebody's like, hey, I want more, so I'll take the large.
Okay.
Small coffee is $1.19, so right now that's winning.
Okay.
Hang on. You can get an Honest Kids fruit punch for 99 cents. I think that might be our winner.
What about
right
a dishonest kid?
Yeah.
I think
Is that cheaper or more
free.
expensive? All right, let's get a winner. Let's see if you can identify what movie this clip is from.
Looks like you guys had some night, huh?
I want 30 sliders, 5 French fries, and 4 large cherry cokes.
I want the same, except make mine Diet Cokes. Chuck.
All right, let's go to John. Yo, John, good morning, buddy.
Good morning, it.
Good morning to see you, John. What movie is that from?
I believe that is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
That is correct. Yes.
And where was that White Castle?
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Hang on a second, John. Here's what we have for you.
We got a pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Kevin Hart Acting My Age Tour Wednesday, December 4th at the Met Philadelphia. Tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
By the way, to back up onto a story from yesterday, Wendy's, Nick pulled this up on their Instagram account, has a picture of a cup of chili, and in the chili is a Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl
That's
ring.
great.
And it just says, found it. Great idea.
Well, you had that story, Preston. I was scrolling through Wendy's Instagram account. They have a really good social media manager because there's some damn funny stuff on here.
Excellent.
By the way, Wendy's has some good chili, and Wendy's also
like
has
their chili.
very good chili, and they also have good salads.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do? I'd get they have baked potatoes you can get there.
Yes.
Pour chili on top of that.
No, that's good.
You guys going to do the because they have the orange frosty right now. It's for a limited time only.
I did not know
it's basically
that.
like a creamsicle.
Not a fan.
Yeah,
I don't like orange Julius's. I don't like orange sicles or
Yeah. You never liked push-ups either? Because those were orange.
No. It's just my thing, man.
Love it. All right, Casey, another clip.
Okay.
See if we can get a winner. And we will play this. Let's see what movie this is from.
Get some sour cream and onion chips with some dip, man. Some beef jerky, some peanut butter. Get some Haagen-Dazs ice cream bars, a whole lot of hot. Make sure chocolate. Gotta have chocolate, man. Some popcorn, red popcorn, graham crackers. Graham crackers is the marshmallows, the little marshmallows, and little chocolate bars. And we'll make some s'mores, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yo. Also, celery, grape jelly, Captain Crunch with the little crunch berries. Pizzas. We need 2 big pizzas, man. Everything on them with water, whole lot of water, and Funyuns.
Yes.
All right, let's see if you know. 215-263-WMMR. Call right now. All right. Why did I put these together? Oh, this is perfect. These next 2 stories have to do with 420.
Nice.
These are food 420 stories. So to embrace the spirit of 420, KFC is opening Saucy Nuggets Dispensary in Venice.
Saucy Nuggets Dispensary.
Yeah, in LA for one day only tomorrow. The special event will feature various activities, including personalized guidance on selecting saucy nuggets, a flavorful new line of chicken nuggets KFC launched earlier this year that come in 5 flavors: honey sriracha, Korean barbecue, sticky chicky, sweet and sour, Nashville hot, and Georgia gold.
Some of that real sticky icky icky.
So would KFC be a go-to for any of you?
Nah.
Well, if it showed up.
For 420?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't seek it out, but that's a good one, man.
Casey, were you walking up and down Venice where you were smelling weed every, 50
it
feet?
was the most...
outdoor weed that
it was the most LA/weed experience I ever had. Like,
Right.
yes, there was a guy who was selling sage who sold me pot, but we had to walk through this little alleyway to get there. I saw a cat with 6 feet, and then I watched
6 feet.
Yeah, he had his front legs
Had 2 each?
had 2 paws
Wow.
each. It was pretty wild, and I hadn't smoked yet at this point. And then I was in like some head shop, and I watched these people steal a 2-foot bong by hiding it
in their pants.
No, even worse. The child stroller. So there was like a 2-year-old child in the stroller, and they're stealing this Jerome Baker bong.
We can't afford bongs for our baby.
So alongside the food offerings, attendees can also pick up limited edition KFC merchandise. The initiative aims to provide a higher culinary experience. But their marketing and legal departments wanted to make it clear that the real Mary Jane will be notably absent and not welcome at the event. Now, the other 420 food-related story I have is in recognition of the International Cannabis Holiday. Jimmy John's has launched a new promotional meal, and I love the name of this. The Deliciously Dope Dime Bag.
Wow.
It features
That's pretty wild.
a smoked ham and provolone sandwich with jalapeno ranch, pickles, crispy jalapenos, lettuce, tomato, and spices, along with a pickle spear, chips, and a fudge chocolate brownie. The meal combo, appropriately priced at $10 and available online with the promo code DIMEBAG, also includes a Jimmy John's branded rolling tray. But it's BYO pot if you're into that.
Yeah, none of these places are going to provide the ganj.
But the only issue here is dope is not pot anymore. Dope is heroin.
Yeah.
So do they have a heroin promotion?
Wait. No. Deliciously dope.
I know.
Dope meaning cool.
Okay, I know, but I also
Do you think they're using it as a tie-in?
Well, the meaning changed.
The meaning changed over the years, but people who aren't in the know don't know that, and people think when you're talking about dope, you're talking about pot. You're not.
What do you think
talking
of when you hear the term dime bag? Because I don't.
I think. Oh, you don't?
I think heroin.
I think heroin as well.
Yeah, same.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's just my perception.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I'm not well versed in this stuff.
Dime bags were essentially a quarter-ounce pot, and initially they cost $10.
Okay.
Hence the dime bag.
And then
dime,
they became
$10.
And that's how-
significantly smaller.
And that's how dime bag Daryl got his name.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, and the dime bag became smaller.
Right.
And then eventually they just went away.
Yeah.
And then you just bought a quarter.
Yeah.
Which quarters eventually went to $25 because of the name quarter. At least in my era, it did.
And
but-
then there were $100.
Yeah.
But they do refer to the dime bags of heroin as well. So I think like dope, it's changed over the time.
Do you know it was Dwight Dimebag Eisenhower?
No.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
No way. Did he run on that platform?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Wow. This is
A dime
the
bag in every pot.
fourth year that the sandwich chain has celebrated the highest of holidays, but don't sleep on this deal because it is only available until April 20th, by the way. All right, we will see if somebody knows what. I'm not going to play the whole clip again. It's too damn long. Let's see if you know what movie that's from. I'm going to go to Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Nick.
Good morning to see you, Amanda. What movie is it from?
It's from Half Baked, one my husband made me watch more than 2, 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
Well done.
Hang on, Amanda. You get to take him to a show then.
Yeah, you could take him to see Kevin Hart, MMR Rocks Kevin Hart, acting My Age Tour, Wednesday, December 4th at the Met Philadelphia. Tickets on sale today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
Let's remember also, Kevin Hart played the Link. He's played large stadiums. This is actually a more intimate location for him.
Absolutely. All right, let's do another clip and see if this is our last one, by the way. Or do we?
We do have 2 more.
Marissa, it doesn't have to be a 420 clip. Can you scare up one more?
We have one.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
All right, we have two. We have 2 more. Oh, never mind then. All right, here we go.
Go, let's go. Wait, get weed, get the weed, okay, anything you might need. Snacks, food, fruit roll-ups. Let's get the out of here. Okay.
All right, 215-263 WMMR. Let's see what movie that's from. All right, let's go to a beverage story. PepsiCo has voluntarily initiated a recall of over 230 cases of its caffeine-free Schweppes Zero Sugar Ginger Ale, which were mistakenly filled with a full sugar product, despite being labeled as zero sugar. Yes. Can you imagine taste? Wow, this tastes like.
How did they do this?
This is amazing.
This tastes sweeter than the original.
The affected cases, which the company estimates to be about 5,500 cans, were distributed in Maryland, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. The mix-up poses health risks, particularly to people with diabetes or those managing their blood sugar levels. The recall is ongoing and no health incidents related to the mistake have been reported thus far.
So Schweppes, most often used as like a mix, or do people just drink straight up Schweppes?
Yeah. It's like it's a ginger ale.
It's ginger ale, yeah. But Schweppes also makes tonic water and club soda and stuff like that.
What is your ginger ale of choice?
I like Canada Dry.
So do I. And there's, I think it's there's a little bit more of a ginger taste.
Canada Dry also makes I think it's called their bold ginger ale, which has more ginger flavor in it.
Is it hot?
It's kind of really
hot,
spicy.
right? Yeah.
Which is wild because you're drinking an ice cold soda, but it's got a back end burn on it.
Ginger's like that.
Yeah. Ginger beer is kind of like that too, and there's no alcohol, I don't think, in regular ginger beer.
Correct.
You add it, put some vodka in and make it a mule.
You can get hard ginger as well.
That's right.
I'm hard just thinking about it.
Have any of you guys? Most of the time, if I drink soda, it's diet soda, but occasionally I'll have regular soda, but with just natural sugar added. Have you ever had that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It tastes different, and I kind of like it.
Coca-Cola.
Mexican.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mexican Coca-Cola uses a natural sugar as opposed to corn syrup.
And I kind of like it a little bit better.
Yeah.
It tastes less. I don't know, like less aftertaste. Maybe.
I agree. Preston, I thought I sent you an article about explains why McDonald's Coca-Cola out of the fountain tastes better.
Yeah, I don't have it.
I think it has to do
With that?
With
Okay,
that.
interesting.
And I'm probably wrong.
I don't know.
I cannot tell you the last time I had soda, regular diet. And I used to be a soda drinker, like in my 20s. And I think I had a sip of something Jace had once, and it was so sweet to me after not having, had it for so long. I was like, wow.
Pretty much the only soda I'll get now, and I rarely drink it, but it will be ginger ale. That is definitely my go-to.
I love ginger ale.
Tastes so good.
I'll tell you when I do have my after parties and we've purchased soda, for people, we get my wife gets the smaller Coke cans and we hold on to them, and I use it as a dessert.
Yeah.
Because it's so sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's a giant.
Yeah.
I get the smaller ginger ale cans because sometimes I mix those with bourbon.
Yeah, that's good too.
And that way I'm not wasting some soda.
Wait, I got the small soda cans for like a party that we had for Jace. And I remember the kids I guess they were like too old for the small cans. And I remember them being like, Jace's mom got the small sodas. I was like, oh, you guys don't need that.
And you don't even drink the full cans anyway.
Seriously, that's why I got the little ones.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I got you all dime bags.
Right. All right, what movie is this from?
Go, let's go. Wait, what? Get weed, get the weed. Okay, anything we might need. Snacks, food, fruit roll-ups. Let's get the out of here. Okay.
All right, we'll go to Dave. Hey, Dave, movie, please. Well, first of all, good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
What movie is that from, buddy?
Pineapple Express?
Yes.
I can't recommend that more highly, Preston. You should check it out.
Yep. All right, what do we have for Dave?
A pair of tickets as MMR Rocks Kevin Hart acting My Age Tour Wednesday, December 4th at the Met Philadelphia. Tickets on sale today at 10 a.m. via Ticketmaster.
All right, we'll do one more clip, and then we'll do another story. All right, and we need to know what movie this food clip is from, 420 related.
I did it when I was a freshman, and you'll do it when you're a senior. But you're doing good. Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies! Fry! Fry!
All right, 215-263-WMMR. Call if you know what movie that is from. Order up. All right, last story here, and I'm going to go with some munchies. And this is fun. According to Cheetos, some 99% of its customers and consumers eat the cheesy crunch snack with their dominant hand. While this metric isn't from a scientific study, we do choose to believe them because most people use their dominant hand when they eat snacks.
Right,
but as Cheetos pointed out, this means that its customers must live the rest of the day using their non-dominant hand to complete tasks, as their dominant one is clearly covered in thick Cheeto dust. So to honor the days when you simply have to get stuff done but still want to enjoy a treat, Cheetos has created its Other Hand campaign, which I think is pretty funny.
It is funny.
Featuring none other than 2023 NBA champion Jamal Murray. In the new campaign, fans watch as Murray, who is famous for his ambidextrous abilities, attempts to make it through the day as a southpaw. And while, yes, he can switch hands midair for a layup, it turns out he's not so great at tying his shoes or attempting to zip up a sweatshirt with his non-dominant hand.
I'd be in trouble. I'll tell you this, I think both you and I, because, I'm a Hers cheese bowl. That's my jam. I friggin' love those things. They're crack. So your son Carter will eats them with chopsticks, yes?
Yes.
I will use a steak knife.
That's good, too.
Yeah.
Just stab him?
Stab him.
Yeah.
Stab him. Pull him out and stab him. Yeah.
That's a real good idea.
Is it more than one at a time?
It's about 50 at a time.
Okay.
You do mean...
yeah.
Yes, one at a time. One at a time. Yeah. But Nick,
chewing.
It's literally like a Singer sewing machine.
Because, Steve, sometimes I'll do an ice cream spoon, and that way you can get like 2 or 3 at a time.
Yes. No, that's a good idea, too.
But I appreciate your approach.
Wait a minute. You're eating cheese balls like
cereal.
Like cereal?
Occasionally.
I commend that.
I need to see a picture, video of you doing that.
I'll do it this weekend.
I'm anti all of that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Fingers?
because I am pro suck the cheese off
Because
the
he
finger
likes sucking
after
his
you're done.
fingers.
It drives me crazy because at a certain point it becomes so caked that I can't continue, and I want to make it an orgy of cheese ball gluttony.
Not only are you sucking it off your fingers, but you're using your bottom teeth to scrape it off. Oh, it's so good. So good. That's why you got to wash your hands first.
Sure.
Anytime you're going to, I ate out last night. I was having tacos. You got to wash your hands because you're eating with your hands. Mm-hmm. So that way, you can guilt-free lick everything off your fingers.
Fans of both Murray and Cheetos are invited to get in on the fun with their own Other Hand misses, and they use the hashtag Cheetos Other Hand if you're interested. But it's a fun campaign.
They're very fun. I love it.
Thought it was cute. All right, let's see if we can get somebody to identify this movie.
I did it when I was a freshman, and you'll do it when you're a senior. But you're doing good. Now fry like bacon, you little freshman piggies! Fry! Fry!
We'll go to Nick. Hey, Nick. Morning, buddy.
Good morning, Ed.
All right, good morning to see you, Nick. What movie is that from?
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah. Dazed and Confused. We hit almost every movie on my 420 list with all those clips, by the way. All right, what do we have for him, Case?
That's our final pair of tickets is MMR Rocks Kevin Hart Acting My Age Tour, Wednesday, December 4th at the Met Philadelphia. And tickets will go on sale today in just about an hour via Ticketmaster.
All right, and that's it for the Connoisseur this week, folks. Hopefully you got something out of that. We will do it again sometime soon. And thank you for all those great prizes, man. We appreciate our promotions department getting that stuff.
Terrific.
To give to you today. And we're not done giving stuff away as well. We're about an hour away from your next shot at winning $1,000. We don't want you to miss out on that. It is called Good Money It. In about a half hour, we're going to have Garrett Stubbs on the program.
Yes.
From your Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll talk with him. We'll return in just a little bit. Hang out with us because we will not be gone long.
And that's your traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Casey had something. You mentioned something to us the other day that I thought was quite interesting. You were looking for a movie,
Yeah.
to find digitally or to download or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have been on a just sort of a kick lately of just watching some movies from my adolescence and teenage years. And so, and thank God, Steve, I know you're a big fan of Pluto TV.
Yes.
So I go to Pluto TV. I go to that app quite a bit, and I've watched Just One of the Guys and Better Off Dead. But there are a couple of movies out there that I cannot locate digitally.
Yeah,
whether to buy or rent, I can't. They just don't exist.
It's funny because in this day and age, when listen, and I'm really good at hunting down titles. I have physical media wise, I have hundreds of Blu-rays, movies that I specifically that were hard to get that I got on the case and find. But it does come up occasionally where you're like, I can't believe I can't find this friggin' thing.
Yeah. So two in particular, I can find the sequels to these movies, but not the original. And I know Marissa had a hard time, and I don't know if she was able to find PCU anywhere.
PCU.
But PCU. That was a movie that we watched all the time when we were in college.
Right, yes.
And she and I'm pretty sure I can't find it digitally anywhere.
Casey, it does not exist. It doesn't exist to buy. It doesn't exist. I mean, you can buy the DVD and the VHS. I already have those.
Yeah.
But I was with friends. We were just partaking in things. And we were like, you know what? We need to watch PCU right now.
Right.
We searched every corner of the dark web and could not find it.
Yeah, you could find a bazooka, but you couldn't find PCU on digital.
I was trying to figure out, is the movie canceled? If anything, it's more relevant than ever.
Yeah.
Well,
what are you looking for, Case?
All right, so very specifically, I am looking for Cannonball Run, the original.
Right.
Cannonball Run 2, I can find no problem.
But you can't find Cannonball Run?
Can't find Cannonball Run
I'll
anywhere.
tell you this, and I've learned this over the years of hunting down titles. Sometimes when something suddenly becomes hard to find, it's because they're about to release an anniversary edition.
Oh.
I've had that happen more often than not.
All right.
Where it becomes scarce, and because you're finding now, you guys, fans of PCU, I guarantee you, some movie house, whether it be Shout or one of the other hard-to-find movie houses, will release these collections. It's possible.
Well, Cannonball Run came out in 81, so it's not like any anniversary.
Special anniversary?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. All right, I have something I've tried to find. It's not a movie, though. It's a series. Then I know they made it, and they didn't renew it for a second season, but I want to see it anyway because it was based on a graphic novel that I read, and it's called Y, the First Man, the letter Y, the First Man. And I know because I saw a clip for it, and I'm like, it's a story about it's about the Y chromosome. All the men on the earth die except for one guy.
Did you tell me about this?
I probably did.
Yes.
It was a really good graphic novel, really good. And I saw they made a show out of it, and I can't find it anywhere.
So can I jump in here quickly?
Wait a minute. It says canceled before the first season. Did this say that, Nick? Can you go back one screen?
Yeah.
It says, why The Last Man canceled before the first season is even over. Yeah, okay, so it apparently came out at some point.
So, Casey.
Where the hell do I find it? Ah!
The Cannonball Run and Cannonball Run 2 two-film collection on Blu-ray.
He wants it digitally.
I want digitally.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's the... And
so a lot of times, because I love getting the hard copy of the stuff.
I actually just sold almost all of my DVDs and Blu-rays because I just wasn't, I'm like, all right, I don't know if I'm ever going to physically put a disc into a thing anymore.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's a big time commitment. The other one I can't find is the original Revenge of the Nerds. I couldn't find it digitally anywhere, but I could find Nerds in Paradise, no problem.
So I watch a lot of videos on Screen Crush, and they have sponsors every week. And Casey, one of the sponsors that they go to quite a bit is this thing. It's like, and I don't quite understand the technicalities behind it, so that's why I'm bringing it up on air. It's you can get a VPN to watch Netflix from, say, France.
Yes.
Because for some reason, Revenge of the Nerds will be available in other countries and for other streaming services. And the way that it works is you can apply it to all of the streaming services that you have.
What's a VPN?
I don't quite know.
It's a protected gateway in and out of the web. So it is used for personal network, a verified personal network. I think that's what it stands for. So basically, it is a security thing. But Nick is right. You can then access like German Netflix.
Right. And Revenge of the Nerds won't be available in the U.S., but you can watch it on German Netflix or whatever. And that's just an example.
I'm a nerd.
But I've never, I've not tried any of these services. I've just seen them advertised, so I don't know how effective they are or not.
Maris?
Well, that makes sense, Nick. Like when you wouldn't be able to find like a baseball game, like a Phillies game, because it was blacked out here.
That's right.
But you could search it from another city or something like that. But if you guys remember, way back in the day, we had Danica McKellar in, and we were asking why The Wonder Years wasn't available on DVD.
Right.
And she said it was all the music rights.
That's
Same
right.
thing with Freaks and Geeks, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's maybe affecting.
There was a
some of
point in
these?
time where Animal House, the only copy you could get, had a lot of the music that you remember from the original theatrical release was not on it.
Yeah, and by the way, Preston, Craig Lagan says why The Last Man was on Hulu and FX. I don't know if it is anymore.
I know that, and I know they didn't schedule another season, but anything is pretty much available once it's out there. I know they do move things in and out from time to time, but I thought that since it was, I looked on Hulu, I looked on there, and it's just, I think it has disappeared. I think they have wiped it, which sucks because I would like to see it. Anyway, here's a text from somebody. It says, dude, all the movies you mentioned are on Pirate Bay. Takes 2 minutes. Now, the thing I don't know about Pirate Bay is that are those DVDs and Blu-rays, because Casey wants digital.
And I also don't want to go to jail for downloading a movie. You know what I mean? I just I don't do the
It says
pirated.
download music, movies, games, software, and go to jail. No, okay. So this looks like this. Casey does kind of look like a. Okay, so like I call it up on the browser and McAfee jumps up and says high level virus alert.
Yeah, I don't want to go to that.
Yeah.
Somebody's texted in and said VPN means virtual private network, Steve. Very close. Virtual private network. And then somebody said they are looking for, it says Trey Parker and Matt Stone's That's My Bush is one that I can't find digitally. I wish I could. That show was incredible, even though there's only 8 episodes. So people are looking. Here's one that says Dogma doesn't exist digitally because Harvey Weinstein won't release it.
He's in jail.
Huh.
Yeah.
Case, I know. Listen, it's not so hard to pop a disc in now and then. And honestly, a lot of times what you'll get with these things, especially if it's something you have a big love for, is you'll get making of and interviews and cool stuff and outtakes and for the movies that you love. If you look at my collection, and I'll send you a picture of it. It's all these kind of movies where I'm like, oh man, I'd love to find out more about them and get all that additional stuff. And I get it.
Yeah.
You just want to sit there sometimes. I'm really in the mood to hit this. You want to hit the button and just go to it.
Right.
Yeah. It's much more convenient, you don't have to.
Such a commitment to get up,
walk, open up a jewel case.
Oh, you got to switch the inputs. It's
oh my God.
I'm going to go to Dennis. Hi, Dennis. You're on the air. Good morning, bud.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How can you help?
So I got this app, but it's probably kind of illegal, but I pay for it.
Kind of.
I pay for it yearly, like $100 a year. and I get everything. I just looked it up. I looked up Dogma, got it. TCU, got it.
Wow.
Cannonball Run, got it.
Let me ask you, Dennis, what is the video quality and audio like? Does it suck?
It is pretty darn good. No.
Okay, pretty
All right,
darn good.
And what's it called? And so I can look it up and see if it's illegal. Because again, like I don't want to run the risk of downloading something that has a virus in it, and I don't want to go to jail for downloading PCU.
You'll have a SWAT team swinging through your windows.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my dad's concerned about.
Dennis, what's it called?
Mine is called Wicked TV.
Wicked TV. Okay, we'll look into that.
I'm looking at
There are also
thanks, Dennis.
A lot of people do the Fire Sticks, Casey.
Yeah.
And they'll get them what they call jailbroken.
I know a lot of people that have done that.
Right,
and I've been offered that.
Right. So you could basically it is imbued with the power to get a lot of illegal stuff through the. My issue with a lot of it is that I want the pristine 4K HDR version of it. I don't want to watch some crap version of a movie.
I almost can't.
Yeah.
Like if it's like that, I'm like I lose
You're not
my
enjoying it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm definitely that way with my porn.
Yes.
If
I
it's
could
little-
hardly see the bush.
Yeah, you can't. Come on. Let me go to Mike. Hi, Mike. Good morning.
You guys rock.
Aw, thank you, Mike. All right, you have a tip for us.
Stay away from anything like Pirate Bay or any of those sites unless you want to just throw out your computer.
Okay.
Really?
You will get. I had friends who were like, "Oh, you want this movie, that movie? Go to Pirate Bay. It's great. Like you get everything you want for free." I went there. It destroyed my computer. I even replaced my internet network because of it.
No kidding.
So you signed up and created an account, and then you
Yeah, they're not legitimate like Netflix sites or anything.
No, in fact, they're probably used for this very purpose.
That's why they're called Pirate Bay, because it's all this stuff that you can't get anywhere. But there's others. I don't know the names of like all the other sites.
So I use one called CD Scumbag Vision, and
more than likely not good.
No,
But
good.
yeah, no, don't stick. At the most, like, I don't know much about it, but I hear like jailbroken Fire Sticks are good. I don't know how legal that is, but
Yeah, what I hear about those, Mike, as I was saying to Kathy, is that the video quality a lot of times just sucks, and I'd rather have it the right way. And I also, it's like in the early days of Napster, you get half a song.
Right, yeah.
And it's like I don't need that.
I have friends that say that the jailbroken Fire Stick is just as good as the legitimate one. I have a legitimate one, so like I try to. Like, it's not like back in the day when you could like pirate cable with a chip or like get a fake antenna on your roof, and unless you knew what you were looking at, it was like, oh yeah, now I'm going to get a snowy picture for the next how many years.
You're setting yourself up to be very susceptible to all sorts of stuff, as you said, that could destroy a computer, destroy your network, all that stuff.
I wasn't sure if it affected my network because there were other things that I was doing that we'll just keep to ourselves. That you can pick up viruses from.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. In fact, they're probably tracing this call right now. So.
They traced it when I started dialing.
All right, Mike. Thanks for the call.
Guys.
See you, bud. We'll see you. I assume that titles that aren't available. Are not available for whatever reason, for some kind of a legal reason. There's got to be something because there's money to be made. There are people that can get these. Why would you not have your product out there being sold? There's got to be some kind of a reason that things are being held back. And maybe some of the material has become a little too controversial to try and take a shot at it.
What happens too is that sometimes they pull it off the market. Remember that whole Disney campaign for the longest time where they're sealing it in a safe?
Yes.
And because they're going to re-release it.
The classic movies.
And so, but that happens.
Yeah.
So you might find what you're looking for, Casey. Give it a little bit.
All right, let me go to, let's see, Kieran. Hi, Kieran, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, you guys rock.
Thank you, buddy. All right, what do you want to tell us?
The movie that I've been looking for and is not on digital or anything is the original Romero Dawn of the Dead.
Okay, yeah, I own that on Blu-ray, yeah. So you doing discs and stuff like that, you wouldn't do a Blu-ray or DVD, correct?
I don't think it's even on Blu-ray either. You can get the Zack Snyder remake.
Yes, which is phenomenal.
The only DVD they have is the box set that came out with the director's cut like years and years ago.
Okay.
But it's not even on Amazon. You can't even search it.
Do you know what sometimes if you do some, and you got to do your due diligence, but a lot of times the Japanese market has, so if you buy the movies out of the country, and again, be careful what you're doing. You can shut off. Like for example, I've ordered a number of movies because I'm a big fan of 3D. I have a system for it, but a lot of times they're only releasing those 3D movies in Japan or in Europe. So I'll get it in another language, and I will use the alternative language version on the disc, which is at that point English.
Right, but sometimes you also, and I did this years ago, if you purchase a DVD from out of country, the DVD players that are made here in the United States won't accept them and won't play them. That happened to me one time.
So what you can get is, and I have 2 of them, all zones. It'll accept all zones from around the world. Yeah, and then they're right on Amazon, so I can play anything from around the world.
But what I had. Oh, so you have a DVD player that will play anything
Blu-ray
from around
player
the
that'll
world?
play anything,
It's
any
called All
zones.
Zones.
Yeah, I can show you. And it's
It's okay. I don't need one.
Okay,
but thank you.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know because this was like 15 years ago.
I did the same thing years ago. I purchased the collection, the Thunderbirds. Remember and I bought it. I bought it from England, and I was like, I can't see anything.
Kieran, it also says here on my screen you use Flex to find random movies.
Yeah, Plex. My friend has one,
Plex.
and he just uploads anything he wants to it, and we can. He gives us the password, and we're able to just access all of his movie library. And he has weird stuff, like weird old shows I haven't seen since I was like a kid and stuff.
So Plex is a pay service. What is the cost of Plex?
I don't pay anything for it, but he does. But he just uploads to like an actual server. Like he will record movies on his own thing, or he could download them, or don't download them. But
I got
he'll
you.
record his own DVDs and then upload them, and then we're able to watch them.
All right. The thing is that they should make the industry much more like the porn industry, where you could just specifically say, a dwarf, on a unicycle.
Yeah.
And you get it.
Although, if you want to, like, I remember movies that I remember as like a little kid that I only remember like a scene from.
You're talking about a regular movie or porn?
A regular movie. I know most of the porn scenes. But anyway, no, but that I only remember a scene from. And now with the AI search algorithms, I've gone on, I'm like, movie with a scene where a guy has, is talking about I can't remember, kind of random, or is singing a song about coconuts or something as goofy as like that. And I said, there are these movies that have that scene. Yeah. And I'll go down and sure enough find the movie that I had forgotten the title of.
It's amazing.
It was when I was a kid, and it's become pretty incredible, the search parameters they have now.
3 other movies that I want to see from my childhood. Moving Violations, haven't seen in forever. I want to watch that one. There was also a movie called Hunk. I don't know if you guys remember
Yes,
Hunk.
I do, yeah.
And then there was another movie called Taking It Off. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah, these are all
this
like...
woman, like every time she heard music, she would take her clothes off.
Yeah,
and there
it's
was
based on a true story.
There was a theme song that went, it was like, Taking It Off.
Was Hunk about like an average-looking guy that they made into a Studley guy?
Yeah.
I remember that. Wow.
It's actually about our next guest.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that he had been transformed, and now look at him. He's joining us on our program. But thank you for the calls, by the way. We do appreciate that. We do want to welcome our next guest to the show. The Phils are playing the White Sox today, by the way, 6:40 p.m. start, and tomorrow as well, and Sunday is the afternoon game, 1:35. We were supposed to run into him at spring training, but we missed each other. But now we're back together. Please welcome Mr. Garrett Stubbs. To our show.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Garrett. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. But yeah, sorry we missed you at spring training. Did you enjoy yourself in getting ready for the season while you were in Clearwater?
Yeah, spring training's always fun. It's kind of that time where you get to find where your body's at. Also get to see the boys for the first time in a while. Luckily, we keep in touch in the off season, but spring training is a good time, and then you get to that last week in spring, and you can't wait to get going again.
Nice. It's got to be, I would imagine, when you guys are done warming up, you start to groove, you get out, it's time to get started. Did you get, on the first day that you're actually playing, a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of excitement in that way?
In spring training?
No. Once the season starts.
Oh, okay. Once the season starts, yeah. I mean, it's a little bit different than when you're going through the motions a little bit in spring training. Obviously, you try to keep the intensity up as much as possible in spring. But at the end of the day, the games just are not the same. They don't have the same vibe. The adrenaline's not there the same way that you do during the season. So you get into opening day, you see the flyover on opening day, and the butterflies start to go a little bit more, and that adrenaline comes in.
Well, speaking of spring training, Garrett, I saw the video that the Phils put out yesterday, and it featured you, which was really cool. You were mic'd up, you were running around the field and chatting with your teammates and some of the coaching staff, and you shared a story, and I would love for you to share it with the show. And I'm just going to say this to you: explain what happened with Red 32.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's funny when I get mic'd up. A lot of the stuff that they record, they end up not being able to use.
We know the feeling.
Yeah. You do know the feeling. So with Red 32, it was Schwarber's birthday, and Schwarbs and I were at the stadium, and we were going straight from the stadium at the end of the day over to the casino. Me, Brandon Marsh, Whit Merrifield, and it was an off day for us the next day. So we ended up seeing a couple Blue Jays guys, Tigers guys who also were in the casino. Anyways, we go to the casino. We played blackjack for about 3.5, 4 hours, me, Whit, and Marshy. We finally find the bottom of the wallet. Unfortunately, we're getting up. But earlier that day, I had talked to our strength coach. I said, hey, you got anything for me at the casino? He says, Red 32. I said, all right, Fury, Red 32, you got it. He's a local Philly guy and our strength coach. And we head over to we're about to leave. And I say, boys, Fury told me Red 32. We got to go over to the roulette table and put money on Red 32. We go over to the roulette table. I put money on Red 32. Forbes tells me to put money on Red 21 because that's my number also. One spin, dink, 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 bang, Red 32. One spin on the way out of the casino. Every man's dream on their way out of the casino when they've hit what they feel like is the bottom of the wall.
Wow.
So that pays 30. That pays 35 to 1. How much did you put on that Red 32?
It was $25.
Oh,
and
good
of course,
score.
And of course, right when I hit it, Schwarbs looks over at me and goes, pussy, you should have put $100 on it.
And, wait, and Garrett, hadn't it hit Red 32 like 5 spins prior? Didn't you say something like that? Like it had just hit Red 32?
So, yeah, about 3 or 4 spins prior to that, it had hit Red 32. And so I go, we got to go to a different table because it just hit.
Yeah.
And Schwarbs is like, you're an idiot, dude. Just put your money down. Basically telling me you're going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that Red 32 just hit.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Did you tip out your buddy who gave you the Red 32
Oh,
tip?
yeah.
All right, good man.
Every next day, the first thing I did was walk into the weight room and hand Fury some money.
Nice.
So he got dealt out nicely for his opinion.
You guys must have been screaming your heads off when that hit.
Going absolutely bonkers. And the pit boss came over to us and told us to calm down. Like, hey guys, you gotta calm down, you gotta chill out. And we looked at him, we're like, F you, dude. Get out of here. Just give us our money. We're walking out. No problem. See you later.
You're thrilled. It's what you go to the casino for.
And when you're in a casino and you hear people yelling and screaming, you immediately want to go there.
How are your casino chops in general outside of the roulette wheel?
It's just like everybody. We do this all year long.
Right.
Yeah, we did recently go to St. Louis, which there's a there's a casino attached to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And me, Harp, and Stoddard and Trey was there, and Schwarbs again. And we sat at a slot machine of all things and waited there because the jackpot was at the highest amount at 10K, and we ended up staying there way too long and actually ended up hitting it. But at the time that we hit it, we were going the wrong way.
You were just trying to cover your loss.
Yeah. And we just want, you go for that exhilaration, and we ended up getting it at the end. But by that time, our win wasn't as big as it was if we had hit it a little bit earlier.
Garrett, I have to compliment you and also thank you for the overalls coming back. I know that you've worked with Foco, and they became a big hit last year. I was lucky enough to go to a bunch of postseason games, and my fiance bought the overalls because you were wearing them, and then more and more Phils fans were wearing them. And we were sitting outside, and it was a beautiful October evening, and we went in, and what she didn't expect was they hold all of the heat in. So she had a sweatshirt on and the overalls in. And so we got into the stadium, and she was sweating her ass off because they don't breathe very well. But you've remedied that now. You have shorts overalls.
Yeah, the shortalls are a very big pickup for this summer. It gets obviously very hot and humid here in Philadelphia. And Foco kind of changed the game there with the shortalls. So,
dude, you must end up looking like one of the Von Trapp singers.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I look like a whole bunch of things when I'm wearing those. But whenever I am wearing them, it means that we won. So
all right.
It's good vibes every time.
Yeah. I see your lats are showing in the one picture there. Good job.
Oh yeah,
buddy.
they put
Good
it's yeah. Normally I'm soaked in champagne or beer or something, but they'll do for some good batting practice in the cage too.
So Preston had mentioned that we were supposed to have you on our show when we were broadcasting live from Clearwater back in March, and we were bummed because it got canceled at the last minute. And I think I was especially bummed because we had never met you before, but your reputation is what I'm trying to say had preceded you, and people just keep talking about what a great guy you are, and the glue that you are in the locker room that just kind of binds and bonds everybody together.
Yeah, Larry Boa in particular was talking about how important you were to the club.
Are you aware of all these positive things that people are saying about you behind your back, and do you agree with any of it?
They just haven't gotten to know me yet if they're saying I'm a great guy. Look, Bo, first off, Bo is awesome. Yeah. We wish that he was around even more than he already is. Obviously, he's there in spring training every single day, hitting fungos. In season, he does a lot more, up in the office type stuff. And he comes down on the field every so often. I think we asked him this year to make his rounds a little bit more down on the field just because he's an awesome guy to have around. Just a really good presence and obviously a great baseball mind.
Well,
and then, yeah, in the locker room, man, we just have a good time. We love to hang out with each other. I like to mess around. I'm not in there as much as the rest of the guys, so I have a lot of time on my hands. Get to have the boys, it's 162 games, man. It gets stale. Yeah. I know most people in this city, at least, tune into borderline every single game.
Yeah.
But being in that locker room for 6, 7, 8 hours a day with each other, it can get stale. So I just like to make sure that everybody's not feeling that way and do that the best that I can. And luckily we have a great group of dudes to do it.
Yeah, you guys have like a bunch of stuff in the locker room, like foosball table, ping pong table, stuff like that. Do you guys have tournaments, and who's the best out there? Who's the guy on the team that has hands down the best hand-eye coordination?
So yeah, we got ping pong in there. I'm going to put Stoddard at the top of that list. Stoddard's got a whole nother side business going on that ping pong table. And we got a mini basketball hoop in there that we can play around the world. I'm going to go Wheels or Hoffy on the best around the world basketball player.
Huh.
But yeah, we keep it light in there. I mean, like I said, the game gets intense, and obviously we're out there working our nuts off.
Yeah.
And our intensity is at an all-time high when we're out there on the field. But up until then, we like to keep it light and make sure everybody's in a good place.
How's your golf?
Golf's good. I played with Whit yesterday. Whit is a scratch golfer.
Yeah.
So I'm nowhere near there. My handicap's a 10.
Okay.
So I'm not like a bad golfer. I'm not a good golfer. And I'm especially not a good golfer when I'm playing next to Whit. But yeah, we got to play Marion of all places yesterday, which was incredible.
Wow. Your first time playing there?
that was my first time playing there.
Yeah,
and I hope we get to go back again.
What'd you shoot, if you don't mind me asking, because it's a tough track?
I shot a 90, just right in line with my handicap.
Yeah, no, that's not bad.
I drove past there when you
also-
were playing. Did you see me by any chance?
Were you over there?
Yeah, I literally drove past there 2 different times.
Nice. Yeah, we had a fun time out there, man. It was cool. That course is about as good as it gets.
Yeah. Yep. Gary, you grew up in Torrey Pines. You ever play there?
Yeah, so when you're a San Diego resident, which unfortunately I wasn't, I grew up in a place called Del Mar, and it was its own like city. You get to play Torrey Pines for $60.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. And I was not a resident, and in high school and college, paying $200, I think it's like $260 for a round.
Oh my God.
Not very conducive to my wallet at that time. So I didn't get to play there a whole bunch, but yeah, I played there a handful of times, and it's incredible.
So Larry, Bo has hit a hole-in-one. How many of you hit?
Up.
So I have hit exactly 0 hole-in-ones. And funny enough, that Larry Boa hole-in-one, we were the group right in front of him all day at that charity tournament. Earlier in the day, Boa and Paco Figueroa hit into our group because our group we didn't have a whole bunch of golfers, I'll say, and I'm not going to tell you who was in our group, but we didn't have a whole ton of golfers. So we were moving a little slower, but we weren't moving that slow. Anyways, they hit into us. I take Paco Figueroa's ball, he had hit onto the green, and I pick it up and I throw it back at him onto the fairway as we're standing on the green.
Nice.
So later in the day, we get to that par 3. We finish up putting. Me and our whole group are not more than halfway off the green. And here comes Bo taking a full hat towards the green. Trey is behind him and says, 4! Ball's in the air, turn around, look at it. He goes, it's going in the hole. Joking around, of course. Rolls onto the green and goes directly into the hole for the hole-in-one. And all of us just went absolutely insane.
Yes.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah. The footage.
All the stuff about hitting into us before.
Yeah.
Completely forgotten.
So Bo was probably speeding up to hit that shot just to get it at you guys while you were still on the green.
Yeah, he's
and
messing
since he didn't stand over there and agonize over his ball for a little while, he just swung and aced it. That's awesome.
Yep.
I love
it.
It
was awesome, man.
Yep.
Yeah. It was
Gary,
great.
you mentioned Whit Merrifield. We chatted with him at spring training, which was really cool. But he's really one of the only guys who's new to the team this year. Most everybody that was on the team last year is back this year. And we were chatting about it a bunch in spring training. It seems to me, first of all, I'm a lifelong baseball fan, but I love this team. I love this group of guys, in no small part because it seems like you guys really care about each other. You care about the city. You're also out there having fun. It's just a really likable group from an outside looking in. What's your perspective, on the inside, being in the clubhouse? Is the same that we feel?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It doesn't really, you don't get that narrative or that perception from every single team around the league, right? I mean, you got a lot of new players. Even when teams win championships, the next year you come back and you're like, dang, half the team's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're lucky to have an owner in John Middleton who keeps these core group of guys that, one, are incredible baseball players, but two, are incredible people as well. And, you don't get to choose your teammates. We're not the ones that make those decisions. But John and Dave Dombrowski and the whole front office, they do a really good job of making sure that our locker room is as good as it gets, along with having the best players in the league in there as well. So, yeah, and Whit was just another great addition. Not only is he a good golfer, makes me feel like crap out there on the golf course, but he's a good dude, a lot of fun, good casino guy. So just another good personality to have in the locker room.
Well, and I think what has stood out as well amongst this group of people, your teammates, is that we've gotten so used to seeing star players sometimes be prima donnas. And while they're on your team, your hometown team, you're pulling for them, you want them to win, there's still also a little bit of, I'll bet that guy's a douchebag. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you just don't. You got your Bryce Harpers. You got your guys that appear to be like everybody else on the team. They are not saying I'm better than you. And
I'm better than you at baseball.
Right. Right. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll talk smack to each other. Don't worry about that. That's part of the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Hey, did it?
But yeah, no, you're exactly right. I mean, Harp's been a superstar since he was 16 years old.
Yep.
You know, but he's still an incredible dude. He could very easily be the guy that just is standoffish, not a part of the team, you know, all those kinds of things. And he's not. Yeah. He's the guy that's in the locker room every day with the boys, hanging out. And that's kind of the vibe that we have in our locker room. And I don't know if it's been that way in Philly forever, how long, but it's been that way since I've been here in 22. And it's been super fun, and plan on keeping it going.
Love it.
Has anybody ever told you that you kind of remind them of a better looking Matthew McConaughey?
No, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
I've gotten the Adam Sandler one. I think it's just because we're both Jewish.
Yes, yeah. Stick with McConaughey. No, we love Adam Sandler. So your brother plays for the Astros, and so two prominent teams, two prominent cities. You're both charismatic. How long before one of you is dating Taylor Swift?
Well, if that's the question, one of us is going to have to be bigger, stronger, and better than Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
And I don't know if either of us want to take on that.
Okay.
And you just got engaged, by the way.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Garrett, I wanted to let you know we're going to have Adam Cronali, the Phillies bat boy, in studio next week. And Adam can't do this because it's his job, but he's running for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society's Visionary of the Year. Now, technically, he is not allowed to ask players for money. However, we as broadcasters are allowed to ask players for money. So I'm only saying this on behalf of Adam. He didn't put me up to this or anything. I've done a lot of work with LLS over the years. If you and or any of your teammates would choose, independently of everything that I'm saying, to support Adam in his campaign, I would be grateful, and so would the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So I'm just letting you know that now, because Adam's a good dude.
Yeah, you got it. And I'm sure a lot of the guys on the team, now knowing that, would be more than happy to help Adam out and the Leukemia Foundation there. Adam's an incredible guy. We actually want him to come on the road with us, which right now is not the case. He did it a few times last year in the playoffs, but we've been asking to get Adam on the road for our games to be our bat boy there, but hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it will soon. Adam's an incredible dude. Probably the best bat boy in the league if they had a stat for it.
Right.
Garrett, you guys are playing the White Sox next 3 days. Are you playing at all in these games?
I might be playing Sunday. Obviously, I never know until about the day before. Okay. But JT will be in there tonight catching Turnbull for the first time. So we'll work together early today before the game on just what that report looks like. Catching new guys, it's tougher than having the guys that you've caught, a whole bunch before, which, like you said, we've got a lot of the same staff back. But I've been working with Turnbull these first 3 times. So JT and I get together later today and talk about that.
Cool. Excellent. Well, listen, Garrett, by the way, I want to let you know, just in case, our radio show has been on here in Philadelphia for coming up on 25 years now together. And the reason you should return to our show is since we have this longevity in town, we are the only radio or TV show where you can call someone a pussy and say you work your nuts off.
Yeah. That's it.
So you got to come back on again sometime.
I kind of got that vibe just slightly when I was on my way into the show and heard porn on the radio show.
You're clear. You're good to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Great to have you on, man. Thanks a lot, and have a good time this weekend, all right?
Appreciate you guys having me. Thanks.
You got it. Garrett Stubbs, guys. Well, I'm telling you, he's a piece of work. I love him.
Yeah, it's great.
Love him. All right. We do need to take a break because in 10 minutes, now 9 minutes actually, we got to try to give away $1,000 if you don't mind. And that's courtesy of Good Money It. We'll do that when we get back. Stay put. Load me up because we're going to do this before we get our last look at traffic. Your chance to win right now.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, the word is gleam. Gleam. You have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. You can enter it at WMMR.com or through the MMR app, or, of course, text it to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley, so make sure that you do answer your phone. There are contest rules available at WMMR.com. Sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So the word is GLEAM, G-L-E-A-M. Do that now. We're going to take our final look at traffic. So, Kathy, what's happening now?
The construction cleared on 202 and King of Prussia between.
Again.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by the Monster Energy AMA Supercross. Experience the intense action of the world's most demanding sport live and in person. April 27th at Lincoln Financial Field. You can visit supercrosslive.com for information. It's prom season.
Yes, it is.
We're going to have a prom chat next week probably, but a high school student will miss out on her senior prom after getting suspended over bringing a bag of corn chips to school.
No!
Yeah, Miami Valley Career Technology Center prohibits bringing this kind of snack to the school because a teacher is severely allergic to an ingredient. Amber Guy's daughter, Allie, is a senior at Miami Valley Career Technology Center, is set to graduate in December. Her home school is West Carlton. Guy said someone gave Allie the Taki, is that how you say it, Taki chips?
Yeah.
Gave her the Taki chips.
Super spicy.
On the school bus, and she was hungry, so she ate them. She didn't finish the chips. Guy said Allie brought the bag inside the building, but there were only 2 chips left. When she finished the remaining chips, Allie threw the bag away and then went to class. The school principal called her down to the office, and at that point, they asked her if she ate the chips. She said yes, and they suspended her for 5 days.
Wow.
Due to the suspension, Guy said it's West Carlton's policy to not allow her to attend their prom either. He said for her, it was a big deal. She probably tried on 50 dresses before she picked out the right dress, and it's probably her only prom dress.
So there's this one teacher that's severely allergic to the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
And what does the teacher say about all this?
Oh, I don't know. But under the guidelines outlined by the Americans with Disabilities Act, they the school must safeguard the well-being of all individuals, including students and staff within the district. This is a statement from them. They said, just as the district would attend to the needs of a student with life-threatening peanut allergies, it extends the same level of care and consideration to accommodate the allergies to staff members who work with our students and who have the right to a safe work environment. The school has taken proactive steps to communicate these rules since the beginning of each school year with signage displayed throughout the designated area and a formal acknowledgement process for the students who will be taught in several restricted classrooms and short hallway area. So the dad said they were aware of the signage. He said there's a sign like no corn with a corn on the cob at 7:30 in the morning. Not many people are thinking, oh, does this have corn in it? In the statement, the school said that parents and students had to sign a form of acknowledgement to acknowledge this rule at the beginning of the school year.
Yeah. I understand, obviously, it can be a lethal thing. I just wonder if there's wiggle room, especially since it's such an important thing for her as well.
Guy said she was aware of the rule because her daughter's father, she wasn't aware of the rule because her daughter's father signed the form and they are separated. And she plans to get a lawyer and try to get the suspension appealed.
Yeah, that is a wild story.
It is. It's a bit of a gray area too, as far as, anyway. All right, what else we have here for you? The 20-year-old motorist who was recklessly caught going 199 miles an hour on a Florida roadway has copped to a reckless driving charge.
Your Honor, I wasn't going 200.
God, that's insanely fast. Yeah, right?
On the plus side.
Yeah.
Luis Lozano Figueroa had entered a no contest plea in the misdemeanor count during a court hearing last week. He was ordered to pay $900 in fines and court fees and have to complete 12-hour aggressive driving class. He was arrested in January when cops spotted a red 2016 Camaro engaging in a 1 a.m. street race along the Florida Turnpike. He was driving the vehicle, and there were 2 passengers in the souped-up ride. The posted speed limit is 70 miles an hour.
So that's over.
Yeah, that's a little bit over. When police searched the vehicle, they found a camera with a mounting stick inside the car, which is registered to Figueroa's father. Citing a mounted bracket on the Camaro's rear window, cops concluded that the camera was used to, quote, capture videos for his Instagram account, Truly Louis, Luis, the car's license plate also has TRLYY, which stands for Truly Luis.
He's a media star.
Figueroa's Instagram page includes photos of the Camaro, and it defines him as a licensed insurance producer with Globe Life subsidiary. But he was doing, 200 miles
Come
an hour.
on.
That is insanely
And
fast.
the slightest misstep, and you are vaporized.
Yep, exactly. A woman visited Disney California Adventure back in April 2022 and is now suing the resort, alleging that she suffered from severe injuries after a cast member dressed as Goofy fell on her. Katrina Griffin.
It's kind of funny.
Visited with her daughter. The lawsuit
We have a
claims
Goofy injury.
that when Griffin was bending over to tie her daughter's shoes, a Disney cast member dressed as Goofy walked directly into her and she fell onto the hard cement. I mean, he probably can't see anything in that outfit. I don't know. The cast member who fell onto Griffin with all of his body weight, which resulted in severe traumatic, debilitating, and permanent injuries.
Did Goofy fall on her, or did he turn her around and move in from the back?
Griffin is suing Disneyland Resort and the person in the Goofy costume and the cast member who worked as Goofy's handler. At Disney Parks, cast members wearing full character costumes are accompanied by another cast member who ensures that they interact safely with guests. For characters who don't speak, such as Goofy, during character interactions, the other cast members are responsible for speaking with guests and acting as a character's translator of sorts. She claims the handler failed to prevent the collision between her and Goofy.
Out of the way, bitch.
And she is also requesting a jury trial to pursue damages related to health care bills and loss of earnings as well.
On a side note, I saw that I'm in the algorithms now of all sorts of cute animal videos. I mean, I get them to begin with, but there's a video. Apparently, Preston, these people brought their dog to Disney World, and the dog just loves Goofy.
Aww.
And so the Goofy walks into the room.
I saw it.
Is it not the cutest goddamn
It's
thing?
so adorable.
It's so thrilled.
I love it. I love it. All right, we'll do one more story and we will wrap it up. Let's go with, hang on a second. What is this one? Let's go with this guy. The Cambridge Police Department youth resource officer whose gun accidentally went off at a school on April 2nd was placed on administrative leave pending full review of the incident. Inside, listen to this, inside a single staff bathroom, Officer Frank Greenidge removed his department-issue firearm from its holster. He placed the firearm on the bathroom stall hook by the trigger guard.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
And it went off. He wanted to hang his gun up by the trigger guard.
What could go wrong?
No one was hurt in the incident, and the school day went on uninterrupted. He promptly reported the incident to his supervisor, allowing police to quickly respond and process the scene. In the days following the incident, the department said Greenridge was reassigned, but it was unclear at the time if he would be reassigned to his previous assignment when the investigation was completed. I'll say assign one more time. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, we'll take a break. We'll return with a lesson question and a prize to hopefully give to you. I want to remind you, by the way, you got about 3.5 minutes left to enter the word GLEAM for the Good Money It contest and $1,000. So the word is GLEAM, GLEAM. If you haven't done it, do it now. Text it to 45911. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve
On 93.3 WMMR. It's a scientific fact. People like free shipping. And at WMMR.com, you can find out how to score yourself some of that, like concert tickets, autographed gear, and even cash. Become an MMR VIP to get extra chances to enter online at WMMR.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze.
Clash on 93.3 WMMR, rocking the Casbah this Friday morning with the Preston and Steve show. Going up to about 61 degrees, just a little bit more comfy than yesterday. Clouds are still the order of the day, but tomorrow's looking really good. 68 degrees and sunny skies in the afternoon. It's going to be nice. Cooler on Sunday, then Monday, Tuesday, back up to the mid to upper 60s. Not really seeing any rain in the forecast this weekend from what I've checked out, so good news there. We're going to ask today's lesson question, and we are going to give away as a prize a 4-pack of tickets for Monster Energy AMA Supercross, which is going to be April 27th at the Link. Question I have for you this morning is what was Dwight Eisenhower's middle nickname? 215-265-1065 263 WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to that. What was Dwight Eisenhower's middle nickname? Not really. 215-263 WMMR. If you heard that and you know, you should call us right now.
The trash business is a gold mine.
93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, I think we're going to just get right to it. I don't know if we have do we have a sponsor? Or not? Well, if we do, we'll settle it on the back end.
Absolutely.
Wait, here we go.
I got it.
All right, it is brought to you by Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Join Nick McElwain and Team Luke in the LLS Big Climb Philly on Saturday, May 11th at Lincoln Financial Field. Register or donate. You can go to PrestonandSteve.com. What's up, Steve?
Well, Bethany Frankel says things with her ex-husband were so bad at the end that having sex with him was torture. Frankel says the only positive was that she got along with their gimp.
Where are the sausages?
By the way, Casey's not here to hit the sound effects,
No
so
problem.
I'm just going to play things.
Doug, where the sausages?
Yeah.
Walking Dead actor Thomas Paine says the recent birth of twins with his wife Jennifer Ackerman was a completely unexpected event. In fact, Paine says he thought she just had to fart. And finally, Oprah Winfrey says making new friends is hard because she's seen as this larger-than-life, all-powerful figure. Winfrey says she's actually very approachable and rarely has anyone put to death.
Oh, my God.
And that's your Hollywood Trash.
All right, thank you, Steve. All right, we'll see if we can get an answer. What was Dwight Eisenhower's middle nickname? 215-263 WMMR. We will go to Pat, our first caller in. Good morning, Pat.
Good morning.
All right, Pat, what was Dwight D. Eisenhower's middle nickname?
Dwight Dimebag Eisenhower.
Yes, Dimebag. Hang on, Pat. We're going to get you a 4-pack of tickets, Monster Energy AMA Supercross, Saturday, April 27th, Lincoln Financial Field, and you can experience the intense action of the world's most demanding sport live and in person. Visit supercrosslive.com for more information.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Brought to you by Rita's. Head to Rita's, try their brand new Oreo frozen coffee. Rita's takes their cold brew frozen coffee and blends it with delicious Oreo cookie pieces. It's the perfect pick-me-up. Be cool. Eat Rita's. So this story came down yesterday after our program was over, and Pierre did a wonderful tribute here on MMR to Dickie Betts, the guitarist and co-founder of the Almond Brothers band. He had passed away at the age of 80. The release said the legendary performer, songwriter, band leader, and family patriarch passed away at his home in Osprey, Florida, surrounded by his family. He had cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
So he had cancer at the time of death, or was it?
You know what, Steve? I don't know.
I think he had cancer, but there was the pulmonary disease that got him, right?
Yeah, these are just a couple of things he suffered from, unfortunately. But credited with helping define the sound of the Southern rock genre of the 1960s and 70s, Betts, bass guitarist Barry Oakley, drummers Butch Trucks and Jamie. I don't know the band well enough to know all the members. They joined brothers Greg and Dwayne Allman
and Tito
to form the Almond Brothers band in 1969. Betts wrote and sang on the group's biggest hit. Read this right here. Ramblin' Man, of course.
So good.
I love this line. Rolling down Highway 41. So initially, he wrote the song and intended for it to be sung by another artist entirely.
You know, you kind of mentioned earlier, and you're right. The Almond Brothers, wherever you stood on whether you were more country rock or regular rock, or just in general, they managed to.
Yeah, they crossed a lot of
all that.
Yeah, they crossed a lot of formats. It was really cool.
Yeah, they're like Southern rock meets jam band meets a little bit of country. I bonded with my dad over the Almonds growing up. It's one of his favorite bands and one of my favorites. And so I was able to text him yesterday, and he and I were both listening to Pierre's tribute, which was fantastic. It was about an hour long, and it was just it sucks that it takes a death sometimes to highlight somebody's life and their contributions to the musical world. But Pierre did a great job yesterday, and it was nice for me to be able to have my dad listen to it at the same time.
What's your favorite Almond Brothers song?
Blue Sky, which happens to be Pierre's favorite song, and he wrote that as well, Dickie Betts did. And but Jessica is a masterpiece. I mean, there's just one after another. Elizabeth Reed is incredible.
So, by the way, he had said in 2020, Dickie Betts said, I was going to send Ramblin' Man to Johnny Cash. Later adding that he thought that it was a great song for him. But he said, but everybody liked that song. Even my dad liked the song before we recorded it or anything. And I'm thinking, I'm going to send it to Johnny Cash and see if he wanted to do it. The producer, Johnny Sandlin, said we needed another song for the record. And he asked if I had anything. And I said, well, I got one, but I was going to send it to Nashville for Cash to record. He said, let's hear it. And then he goes, no, we have to do that.
Awesome.
So that's how it ended up becoming that smash hit for them. He wrote it expressly
That's wild.
for someone else.
You know, it's another, Melissa is such a great song.
Yep. Other big Almond Brothers songs written by Betts were Blue Sky and Jessica, as Nick had mentioned. Tragedy had struck the group when Duane Allman died in a motorcycle accident way back in 1971, and Oakley was killed in a motorcycle crash a year after that. Betts and Greg Allman became the band's leaders, but creative differences and substance abuse in the group caused them to break up and reform many times. In 1973, then 16-year-old Cameron Crowe followed the Almond Brothers band while they toured for a Rolling Stone cover story, which would eventually provide the inspiration for his Oscar-winning movie Almost Famous. And in 2017, Crowe said Billy Crudup's central rock star character is a tribute to Dickie Betts.
That's wild.
Yeah, so if you were wondering,
That's one of my favorite movies.
That was kind of about him. Betts left the Almond Brothers band in a highly publicized split in the year 2000, while the band continued touring for almost 15 more years and released one additional studio album. Betts toured with his Great Southern Group, featuring his son Duane, and released another studio album of new material, and then he retired in 2014. When he was asked what he loved most about music, Betts said in a 2020 interview that it was primarily the effect that it had on his audience. He said, I liked the crowds mainly and what the music did for them. They got more out of the music than I did. I just really get a kick out of the audience and how they could just kind of drift away to another world in a concert.
There's a communion that takes place, and I would imagine when you can see, the shot of if you're on stage and you're seeing the audience respond in real time to what you're doing.
Yeah,
it's got to be wild.
Absolutely. So
I imagine that's what mimes feel.
A legend, absolute legend. 80 years old. What a life. A reminder, the Record Store Day is on Saturday. The event celebrates independent record stores around the world and gives fans an excuse to grab some pretty sweet exclusive vinyl, too. This is the 17th year for the event and comes as more and more people are buying vinyl on the regular. This year, hundreds of artists are joining in on the fun. The 1975, Daft Punk, Elton John, Paramore, there's stuff from David Bowie, Little Uzi Vert. If you don't know if you have a record store near you, you can go to the Record Store Days website, and they have a shop locator, so they'll find one near you if you want to. So do a search on Record Store Day.
It's actually pretty cool. I was at Main Street Music, Maniac, for one of these things, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And Nick, what was the name of the place in Phoenixville?
The Record Store.
The Record Store.
I keep saying that. It's the Record Shop.
Record Shop in Phoenixville.
On Bridge Street, but they are doing it as well. And brand new Pearl Jam this weekend, which you can buy on vinyl.
Yep. James Hetfield has revealed a new tattoo in memory of late rocker Lemmy from Motorhead, Lemmy Kilmister, using some of the Motorhead star's actual ashes in it.
Whoa.
Hetfield showed off the tattoo featuring Motorhead's famous Ace of Spades logo made with black ink mixed with a pinch of his cremation ashes that he said, quote, were so graciously given to me.
It's weird because it's Lemmy's head on Betty Boop's body.
Oh.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I'd get that.
That's unique for sure. Fittingly, it was on the middle finger of his right hand, making it visible while pulling his idol's favored pose of flipping the bird. He said, so now he is still able to fly the bird at the world. And he said, salute to my friend and inspiration, Mr. Lemmy Kilmister. He said, without him, there would be no Metallica. And he was 7 years old. He died of cancer in 2016. Hetfield went on to describe Kilmister as a godfather to Metallica. He said, when he was around, it just felt like things were going to be okay.
Mm.
And then a couple more quick things. Jelly Roll, actually. We were talking about him the other day. He's been able to juggle multiple genres in his musical career. Started out in hip-hop, morphed into soulful country. while at the same time managing to find a comfortable landing place in the rock world as well. And while country music has been where he's been concentrating most of his efforts the last few years, his next collaboration may put him back on the rock side of things. In an appearance...
Let me get this straight. We're talking about the local wedding band, correct?
No, that's it. Right. In an appearance on podcast, Shinedown lead vocalist Brent Smith all but confirmed that a pairing with his band and Jelly may soon see the light of day. And listen to his statement. He goes, 100%. It might be in the works. I mean, I don't know. If I say it, it's probably going to happen.
Who are you? Am I awake?
But he says 100% and then goes, maybe. I'm not sure. He said, we just have a mutual love for one another and just care so deeply about who he is as an individual and his story. He said, this man, Jelly Roll, is the real thing on so many different levels. Could not be a more genuine individual. Talented as all get out. I remember when we brought him out with us in our 2022 tour, there were people that were like, who is? Why? Like, what's going on here? Who is this? And I said, just get ready, man. And I told him, too. I said, man, you are about to get into the most amazing rocket ship that only you can captain. As far as what and the when of any potential collaboration, that remains a mystery. So we're just going to have to wait for the word. I thought this was pretty cool. Behind the Music is back.
Yeah, I saw this. I am very happy about this.
All new episodes, digging into the backstories of some of music's biggest stars. Under the MTV microscope this time, Wolfgang Van Halen, Belle Biv DeVoe, and Trace Adkins, along with the brand new episodes, remastered episodes, featuring 50 Cent, Bobby Brown, Ice-T, Milli Vanilli, The Notorious B.I.G., and Sinead O'Connor. And they will also arrive on Paramount Plus the same day, May 1st.
Using the same narrator? That iconic voice?
I hope so.
Yeah.
He was great.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is that just with YouTube videos and stuff, there's so many like YouTube channels now that kind of do what Behind the Music did.
Yeah.
So they got to make sure their game is strong.
And then finally, Ringo Starr and his all-star band are going to be playing at The Man.
Whoa!
Yeah, September 24th. It is a Tuesday, and it will be featuring, he always has a rotating cast of musicians that join him. And joining him this time around will be one of our favorites, Colin Hay of Men at Work. Wonderful. Also, Steve Lukather of Toto fame. And he's been playing with Ringo for years. Edgar Winter is going to be in the band. Yep.
Wow.
And also, there's a guy named Warren Ham who is a utility player. He used to be one of Billy Joel's main guys, plays saxophone, plays keyboards, sings high vocals, backup vocals. He's fantastic.
Yeah.
I saw him with Ringo's band. The great Greg Bissonette is playing drums. He's been with Ringo's band for a long time now, and he's played with tons of different people. And a guy named Hamish Stewart is on bass, and he used to be in the Average White Band.
Yes,
Pick
yeah.
Up the Pieces.
I remember that band, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be playing at TD Pavilion at the Man September 24th, and tickets go on sale next Friday.
Do you have any inclination? You've seen them before,
at 10
yeah?
a.m. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I saw them at the Tower, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was way better than I thought it was going to be. The other musicians play their own songs, too. So Colin Hay will do Men at Work songs.
Right.
Edgar Winter will do songs from his category. Steve Lukather, when I went to see him, you know, he did Rosanna, and he sang as well.
It's very cool.
So
Very
it was
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Man. The Ringo concert, I highly recommend, especially if you've never seen a Beatle live.
Yeah.
You should see a Beatle live if you get a chance. All right, and there you go. That is what we have in music news, which means we have one more break to take, and then we wrap up the whole thing. So we're going to come back in just a moment and do that. So stay with us. Won't be gone long.
Preston and Steve.
93.3 WMMR.
Every day. Say it ain't so. 10:45. And a little bit warmer today, but clouds. We're going to keep it a little bit still feeling kind of cool. High of about 61 degrees. And then tomorrow, best day of the week, 68 and sunshine.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Sunday, a little cooler, 61, partly cloudy, so a lot like today. And then Monday and Tuesday, we get back up to the mid and upper 60s. And I'm not seeing it crazy windy out, so that's all right. I would like to thank the guests that we had on this morning. We had Mr. Garrett Stubbs of the Philadelphia Phillies on, and he was awesome.
Terrific.
Great guy. So easy to talk to. You can see why he's considered just the the guy that keeps everybody happy in the clubhouse.
The
And
lifeblood.
he kind of sees himself in that role, too.
Yes.
You know,
He feels that's his job.
He's like, look, it's a long season.
Yeah.
And a lot of times things can get really stale. That's a word he used. A lot of times things can get stale in the locker room. And he tries to, keep it light and fresh.
Going. Yes.
And he said the word nuts.
He said nuts and he said pussy, too.
He did say that.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was really nice to have him on. How you doing, man?
Excellent. He
wonderful.
sounded really cool.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, we were supposed to hang out with him at spring training, but the signals got crossed a little bit, so I'm glad we got him on now. So maybe we'll have him on again sometime.
I loved, Nick, that you brought up his gambling story, putting it on Red 72.
Red
or whatever it
32.
was.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, they released a video on the Phillies YouTube channel yesterday, and he was telling that story. And so I was glad that he was able to share it with us as well, because it's a good story.
It was a really good story. He was very catchy.
All right, shall we do? And he's a catcher, too. How about that?
Is he really?
Yep.
Great day in my morning.
Letter of the day?
Sure.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by The Letter.
Y is in yellow.
All right, we got a word, and we'll take caller number 8, 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know what it is. 215-263 WMMR. Call now. Let's give it to you. What's up in your world, man?
Well, my world will be beautiful. We'll have money opportunities at noon, 3 and 5 in the Good Money It contest. We've got a lot on the program. We'll have 420 is tomorrow, so we'll do a 420 block. Sublime with Rome is also in Atlantic City tomorrow to celebrate. Perfect for that. Cage the Elephant will be part of the program, and tomorrow is Record Store Day, as you mentioned a moment ago. And so I think at the 2 o'clock hour, we're going to try to go all vinyl.
Okay.
We have only one turntable, which makes it a little more complicated to do that, but in Studio R, but we will attempt to do it. So
okay, excellent.
Have some fun.
Do you not have a photographer that follows you around? Or?
I'm not aware of one.
Okay.
I invited him in. He's doing some stuff for the radio station.
Okay. Somebody's that I don't know is taking pictures in our studio, and he came in when Pierre came in, and I'm like,
Pierre has a photographer.
Well, I didn't mean to brag about this.
Okay.
Paparazzi everywhere.
I know.
I mean, I have to have 7 different cars leave my driveway, my estate every
Decoys.
day.
Yeah.
Decoys.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm in
Yes.
one of them, and it's just so insane. And
Pierre on film.
I've gotten out of the car and said, "Please, give me some goddamn privacy. Don't you know who I am?" And they
that's
go,
why they're following you.
"Oh, we had the wrong guy. We were looking for Lemmy.
Oh.
He's dead."
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, you hope you have a shovel.
All right.
Where were we? Oh,
We need a caller. Is anybody?
Here we go.
there we go. We've got one.
Got it.
I knew it would come together in the end.
Yes.
And normally we have a.
I'm like that guy in the locker room that goes, "Come on, kids, let's keep popping."
Yes.
Let's keep popping.
There's a guy in the locker room that says that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's different than the guy that gets out of the car.
Yeah, that's another guy.
Yeah.
I'm a multifaceted
Individual.
Guy.
All right, we have a caller.
Person.
Now. We have our caller. I'm going to go to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you, Jennifer. What is our word of the week, please?
It is howdy.
Great day in my howdy morning.
That is absolutely correct. So, Jennifer, we got a set up for you 4-pack of front row tickets and pit party passes as MMR rocks Monster Jam.
Wow.
Saturday, May 4th at Lincoln Financial Field. They're going to be doing the big air and the back flips, and it's crazy.
Insane.
It's super loud, and you got the best seat in the house. So congratulations to you, Jennifer.
Incredible. Thank you.
All right, have a great weekend. We'll put you on hold. We'll get your information. Don't forget, those tickets are on sale now. It's Saturday, May 4th at the Link, and you can get them via Ticketmaster. Brent Porsche, another chance for you to win tickets this afternoon, so make sure that you tune in and listen to what he has for you. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, the Preston and Steve Show, brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin', also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and Trinity Rehab, locations all over. That's trinity-rehab.com. We had just a handful of guests this week. Listen to next week, all right? Tom Green will be in our studio.
Oh. Nice.
Love Tom Green. We're going to talk to Zack Snyder.
Yes.
About Rebel Moon coming up,
Part
the second
2.
part. we are going to have composer Mike Post on the show.
That's right.
Steve, what all has he done? Come on.
Rockford Files, Hill Street Blues, Magnum P.I., The Greatest American Hero.
Some of the best TV theme shows ever he has composed. So we'll talk to Mike Post. Rodney and Erica McLeod will be joining us. Clint Howard will be on the show.
Love Clint Howard.
And Dickie Barrett of the
Bosstones.
The Mighty Mighty Bosstones will be in our studio as well. So we got a bunch coming up next week. It's going to be great. That's it. We're done. Rage on. Have yourself a great weekend. And we'll see you later, friend. Bye.